After a couple straight days of rain, finally the sun is shining through, and for the last time this season, the Braves will play at Eldridge Park. Hello, everybody. Welcome in to Orleans, Massachusetts. Jordan Palacio here alongside Sam Wiederhalf for today's matchup between the Bourne Braves and the Orleans Firebirds. And Sam, the rain affecting the past couple days, like I said, sun finally shining. It's the first time in over a month that these two teams have played against each other, and it feels like a ton has changed.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. There has been a ton that's changed. The player that got the walk-off hit for the Braves the last time these two met up, Alec Burleson, who now is tearing it up at Team USA, actually hit a walk-off home run a couple nights ago. And these two teams have had a lot of players cut, a lot of new players come in. Aleka Williams was a part of that starting lineup for the Braves, as well as A.J. Curtis, Peter Burns as well. Over on the Orleans side, it was A.J. Lewis, Jordan Lala, who have both been released, some new players coming in. So it's two new teams playing each other, two teams that don't know a whole bunch about each other. The Braves bullpen isn't as strong as it used to be, but I think we'll see a similar matchup tonight, a low-scoring affair.
Yeah, and a lot of those games between Orleans and Bourne have been low scoring. Braves are 1-2 against Orleans so far in the season. A 2-0 loss on opening night, an outlier, and a 9-0 loss the first game of that doubleheader all the way back on June 16th. And then the 2-1 walk-off win, like you were talking about, Sam. And the Braves right now, when you look at the standings, they sit 13 points over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks for that fourth spot. And meanwhile, for Orleans, only 3 points in third place above the last place Harwich Mariners. And when you look at them, it feels like this game actually means a lot more to Orleans than it does for the Braves.
Yeah, and it does. The Braves have distanced themselves from Hyannis quite a bit, and they seem to be pretty safely in that fourth spot, good enough to make the playoffs. Meanwhile, Orleans in that East Division, that's been tight the entire season. I mean, it's been not a lot of points separating first and fifth, and Orleans right at that third spot could use a couple more wins to distance themselves from the fifth place Brewster Whitecaps, who they're only 6 points ahead. You think 3 games in the wrong favor of Orleans, and Brewster starts heating it up, and It's totally changed. So it's a really tight division, and I think Orleans, their next few games are going to be extremely important.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Braves can wrap up a playoff spot as soon as Wednesday. The magic number sitting for them at 14. And like you said, Sam, only 6 points separates third from last in the East Division. Orleans sitting with 33 points, Harwich with 30, and Brewster with 27. We'll take a quick break right now. We'll have the national anthem coming up, and when we come back, starting lineups and first pitch from Eldridge Park. It's the Braves going against the Orleans Firebirds here on Friday, July 19th, and we'll be back with first pitch here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Welcome back to Eldridge Park. Let's go over the starting lineups for the 13 and 17 Bourne Braves. Leading off, Cody Morissette at second. Xavier Warren follows him, playing third. Judd Fabian out in center. Jimmy Glowacki cleaned things up from shortstop. Cade Beloso at first, hitting fifth. Jared Poland, tonight's designated hitter, batting sixth. Kyler Fedko in right field, batting seventh. Jackson Greer catching, actually in the eighth spot tonight, the lowest we've seen him in the order. And Brennan Ravoli rounds things out in left field. And on the mound for the Firebirds tonight, Sam, is Jake Eater.
Eater, a rising junior lefty out of the national champion Vanderbilt Commodores. He's only pitched twice this summer with one start. Has only allowed 2 hits through 5 innings. But at Vanderbilt, he went 2-0, a 2.98 ERA, collected 4 saves, one of them being the national championship, the final game, the third game against Michigan. He pitched. He was the second pitcher. First was Mason Hickman, who was actually supposed to come to the Bourne Braves, and he picked up the save, pitching 3 innings there and collecting his 4th save of the year. He went 39 third innings pitched on the year, only allowed 28 hits, 18 runs, 13 of them earned, 41 strikeouts on the year. So he will definitely be a tough arm to go up against for this Braves lineup.
And defensively for the Firebirds, they look like this with Eater on the mound, Rob Emery behind the plates, Trevin Esqueda over at first base, Shea Whitcomb at second, Tanner Murray at short, Eddie McCabe at third, Zach Kokoska in left, Zach Daniels in center, and Zach Bryn rounds out the Zach attack in the outfield over in right. Orleans coming into tonight's game 15, 11, and 3, 33 points. They sit in third place in the very tight Eastern Division, which Chatham currently holds the keys to. 40 points for them, the first team to hit that 40 spot. Meanwhile, in the West, it's pretty tight amongst the top. Kentuit and Wareham tied at 35. Falmouth in third with 31. And there sit the Bravos in fourth with 26 points, 13 over the last place Hyannis Harbor Hawks. The Braves, if everything goes their way, could have that 4th spot locked up as soon as Wednesday from this coming week.
Yeah, they've distanced themselves from the Hyannis Harbor Hawks pretty well. Hyannis has been struggling like they have all year, and the Braves have taken advantage of that and look pretty safe right now in the playoff picture.
As Cody Morissette is getting ready to step in just seconds away here. The 4th and final time these two teams will play against each other this year. First pitch is fouled off by Morissette. First pitch at 7 o'clock, and Morissette, the second baseman, falling to 0-1.
And the last game he played was 2 nights ago against the YD Red Sox in that lightning-shortened 5-inning game. Went 1 for 3 with a triple.
One pitch to Morissette, popped up, but playable. That looks like Zach Kokoska's got it in left field, and he makes the catch with his right hand for out number 1. So Morissette goes down quickly, and that'll bring up now the third baseman in Xavier Warren.
And this is an Orleans team that not only is dominant at home, where they have a 10-6 record, they're also dominant against the Western opponents that they play. They're 9-3-3 on the year against Western opponents, and they have 6 shutouts. All 6 of them have been against West teams this year.
And 2 of them come against the Braves, a 2-0 win and a 9-0 win. It's the first pitch to Warren, misses downstairs for a ball. Warren on the year for the Braves, 280 out of Central Michigan. Saw him in that YD game that got rained out. Only 5 innings played. He was 1 for 3 with a double. The 1-0 to Warren is on the ground ball. It's to Tanner Murray, who makes a backhanded throw all the way across to Trevin Esqueda for out number 2.
And that was all in the reach from Trevin Esquera over at first. Tanner Murray, the shortstop, had to throw across his body. His momentum was taking him toward third base, so the throw was a little bit weaker, but Esquera at first reached for that ball and created an incredible stretch where he just kept his foot on the bag for an incredible catch to make the out.
Now here's Judd Fabian going against the lefty Jake Eater. First pitch to him, right at the knees for a strike. Fabian batting .315. He's an all-star for this Braves team, 1 of 6. Wind blowing in toward the Braves dugout on the third base side. 0-1 is off speed. Fabian fans at it. Now he falls behind 0-2.
And he's coming off a nice one against the Red Sox as well on Wednesday night. 2 for 2, a double, 2 runs scored, and he walked. He has gotten out of his slump extremely well.
20 strikeouts, though. Has to be wary of the strikeout. 0-2 swung on and missed on the high fastball. They got him to chase, and the Braves go down in order in the top of the first. 1, 2, 3. We come back. Colby Dunlop will take the mound for his second start today. We'll be back on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Braves go in order in the top of the first. That'll bring up the Orleans Firebirds here in the bottom half. Let's go over their starting nine. Zach Kokoska leads things off in left, followed by Zach Britton in right. Max Troiani, tonight's designated hitter for Orleans, bats in the third hole. Trevin Esquera in the cleanup spot tonight at first base. Shea Whitcomb at second. Eddie McCabe at third. Tanner Murray playing shortstop in the seventh spot. Rob Emery catching tonight in the eighth. And Zach Daniels rounds things up, and they're going up against a guy looking to get his things back in order, his ducks back in a row, Sam, and Colby Dunlop.
This is only Dunlop's third start of the year. He has a 4.62 ERA, an 0-1 record, 11 2/3 innings pitched. His last game he technically started was against Hyannis, where he started it, 3 innings pitched, 3 earned runs on 6 hits.
First pitch to Kokoska, right down the middle for strike one. Of course, Dunlop was on the mound the game of the Falmouth rainouts, where that game was rained out after 2 innings. However, Dunlop had surrendered 7 runs in just those 2 innings. 0-1 breaking ball misses down and in. A ball and a strike now to Kokoska, hitting .275 on the year. 1 home run in there as well. A couple stolen bases. We know how much teams like to run against the Braves. 1-1 grounded up the middle. That's Jimmy Glowinski's to get. He's got it. Sidearm throw to first base is in time for out number 1.
Yeah, and Dunlop's kept looking to get things back on track. That Falmouth game, he's lucky that game got washed out because its stats would be a lot higher. Actually gave up a home run, a 3-run shot to the team's or to the league's leading hitter in Zach Deloach, hitting his home run off of Colby Dunlop to right center field, but it all got washed away. Dunlop gets a fresh new start against this Orleans Firebirds team.
Defensively for the Braves, it's Jackson Greer catching, Cade Beloso at first, Cody Morissette at second, Jimmy Glowinski at short, Xavier Warren at third, as first pitch is into Brent in the zone for strike one, Brendan Rivoli in left, Judge Fabian in center, and Kyler Fedko in right field defensively for the Braves tonight. Here's the 0-1 to Bryn, and it's right there, another off-speed pitch, and Dunlop's got the early lead, 0-2. Bryn on the year for Orleans, 283. He's hit 6 doubles for this team. Couple home runs in there as well. 15 RBIs. He's down 0-2, though, and he watches a high fastball sail up for ball 1. Zach Bryn out of Louisville this past year. Losers to eventual champion Vanderbilt. 1-2. A miss is upstairs and out on the off-speed. And the count evens down to 2-2.
I'm going to be looking for Dunlop to throw that pitch that he threw on 1-1, that beautiful breaking ball that curves right in the zone. If he can get that going, this would be a pretty good start for him. This Orleans lineup is not very good. They're in the back half of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
2-2 breaking ball that Bryn was sitting on. It's into right field for a base hit in between Morissette and Beloso on the right side. Bryn got that breaking ball. He took it into right field for the first hit of tonight's contest.
Yeah, that was the same pitch that Dunlop threw 1-1. That time he just missed location. It was right in the middle of the zone, and Britton didn't miss it. Sent a hard-hitting ground ball to right field for the first hit of the game for the Firebirds. And that brings up Troiani, who's been one of the hottest hitters in the league this year.
Yeah, the most interesting player, I think, in the league, Max Troiani, hitting .344, an all-star starter for the east side as he fouls the first pitch off foul. 32 hits on the year, leads Orleans. However, only one double. No home runs, no triples. He's got the most singles almost by any stretch of the imagination here in this league. Here's now the 0-1 from Dunlop and misses up and in. Count evens out at a ball and a strike to Troiani.
No, he's also got 12 multi-hit games, and that also leads the league. So Troiani is extremely effective with getting on base, just doesn't have a ton of power.
He's stolen 3 bases as well. 28 strikeouts. 1-1 misses down and in. 2-1 now. Braves wearing their navy jerseys with the red hats, gray pants with the red piping, and since it's Friday nights, it's Red Shirt Friday here on the Cape League. Orleans in the red jerseys and the camo hats. Dunlop throws over to first base, almost throws it past Cade Beloso covering, but he's got it. 1 out here in the inning. Zach Bryn is singled to get him on to first, and now it's Max Troiani hitting .344 on the year. Gets his 2-1, and it's in the zone. Count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, he's also struck out a high of 28 times, so he has a little bit of a strikeout problem when he doesn't get on base. But he's one of those players that nobody really expects to do well. He's just a rising senior from Bentley, but has really heated up in this tough competition.
2-2 runner goes. It's a hit and run executed to perfection. Another base hit into right field. Fedko's gone. At the relay throw comes into Jimmy Glowacki, and back-to-back singles for Brent and Troiani. Runners on the corners here with only 1 away.
Well, that was a high pitch from Colby Dunlop that Troiani took opposite field to right, and runners at the corners. Orleans already threatening Dunlop. Another rough first inning for him.
Was only a ground ball away from getting out of it, though. Runners on first and third, 1 out, 0-0 score between the Firebirds and the Braves. Trevin Esqueda coming into the batter's box now. Originally not slated to start. It was supposed to be Ray Gill. However, he's a late scratch. Esqueda feels in for him now. He's batting .182 on the year. No RBIs yet so far. His first pitch grounded to second. This could be 2. Morissette decides not to flip it to second. He makes a throw on the first, so Esquera gets his first RBI on the ground out to Cody Morissette. 1-0 Orleans.
That was an unfortunate ground ball to Cody Morissette, just rolling a little too slow for him to flip over to second and throw to first for a double play. He made the right decision, threw to first, but 1 run comes across the plate for the Firebirds.
A slow roller over to second base, and that's all. With this pitching staff for Orleans, Sam, this could be all the offense that we see. Runner on second now is Troiani, and Dunlop will face Shea Whitcomb. First pitch to him just misses the zone low for ball 1. Shea Whitcomb so far on the year for the Firebirds, .271 average. Playing his 21st game today. 3 home runs for this Firebird team. Dunlop takes a look at second base. Now fires pitch. Popped up. Shallow left center field. Fabian on the run, and he makes the catch below his bounce for out number 3. So Orleans takes the 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning, thanks to 2 singles from Zach Bryn and Max Troiani. Esquera gets him home on the ground out to Cody Morissette. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, the Braves already fighting from behind here in this one. 1-0 Orleans. You're watching it on the Braves Broadcast Network. 4-5-6 due up here on the top of the second inning between the Bravos and the Firebirds here. Back-to-back singles was all that Orleans needed to score a run. Max Troiani hit Zach Britton to third on a hit and run, and then Britton was grounded out home, however, on an RBI from Trevin Esqueda to give Orleans the 1-0 lead. Here's Jimmy Glowacki now for the Braves. First pitch from Eater, and Glowacki pops it up foul off the school here at Eldridge Park, and he falls behind 0-1.
And these are two teams that rely heavily on their pitching. With Orleans, they're third in team ERA in the entire league. They only allow a little over 3 runs a game. And Kelly Nicholson, in his 15th season as the Firebirds manager, his teams have led in ERA 7 times.
0-1 is popped up into foul territory. Looks playable for Trevin Esqueda. He drifts toward the fence, and he makes the catch in foul territory for out number 1.
Eater's moving through this lineup pretty quickly. He's gotten a couple flyouts, a strikeout, a ground out as well, and Beloso coming up. So he looks pretty comfortable on the mound right now.
Here's Cade Beloso now for the Bravos. Beloso on the year, hitting .263. Last saw him in the loss to YD. That was back on July 16th. He went 0 for 3 with a run. He also walked as well. Looks at a first pitch strike from the pitcher Eater. You mentioned the pitching staff for this Orleans team, Sam, only giving up 109 runs. That's second best in the league, only to the Harwich Mariners, who's given up 108 coming into today's game. 0-1 swung on and missed up high from Beloso, and he's in the hole 0-2.
He's also on a 3-game hitless streak. Last time he got a hit was a little less than a week ago. July 13th against Katuitt, had a 2-for-4 game with a double and a strikeout.
Eater steps and kicks. The 0-2 breaking ball misses inside. Ball and 2 strikes. Now tonight's umpires, Mark Delaney, Kyle Fedko over at first, and Rick Antonio on third. Ball and 2 strike count to the Braves first baseman tonight, Cade Beloso. Here's the 1-2. Grounded foul down the first base line. Almost hits Aaron Meyer over there. And Cal remain at 1-2.
And Harwich is a team that really their pitching is obviously their strong suit. They've allowed the least amount of runs in the league. And when the Braves played them last, a home run decided it. It was a 2-run home run by Kyle Hess. That was all the scoring the Braves needed in that game. And I think it's going to be a similar situation tonight.
Every single run will most likely matter here. 1-2 breaking ball gets Beloso down looking. That's Beloso's 16th strikeout of the year, and the Braves quickly now with 2 outs.
Now is a beautiful pitch from Jake Eater. It's the breaking ball that doesn't look like it's going to be in the zone and then curves in at the last minute. He got Beloso looking. Second strikeout of the game and second out of the second inning.
Here's Jared Poland now. Poland, a 2-way player, hitting .290 on the year. First pitch to Poland, fastball right down the middle for strike 1. Poland last playing in the 6-0 rain-shortened game against YD. 1 for 3 with a run scored. 0-1 now, take it into left field, and the Braves will have their first hit of the game at 1 hop. Zach Kokoska out and left, and Jared Poland with his 3rd now game in a row with a hit.
And Poland's one of those guys that obviously wasn't on the team the last time these two teams played and has really rejuvenated this offense and has helped this offense really become a strong suit of this Braves team. And that's something that's changed the last time these two played. It was really all pitching for the Braves at the time on June 16th, but now the hitting has become a factor. The Braves only scoring 1 total run in 3 games against Orleans, and Poland has been a guy that's changed that offense.
Here's Kyler Fedko now. He looks at a first pitch strike from Jake Eater, who is working out of the stretch for the first time. Fedko on the year, not great, 149, really waiting to turn it around. He's running out of games to do it, though. His All-Star game, of course, this Sunday, and then after that, only 12 games remain. 0-1 is a big swing and a miss from Fedko. Swung out of his helmet there, and he falls behind 0-2.
And when you watch him in batting practice, he has a ton of power. He hits a lot of home runs before the games in batting practice, but when he gets on the field, he struggles. Just 7 for 47, a 149 average. Just hasn't been able to catch up to those fastballs like you saw from Jake Eater.
Here's the 0-2 now, and that just misses the zone on the fastball. Eder wanted that call from Mark Delaney. He didn't get it. 1-2 now. Fedco's definitely got a chance in a field like this. It's 300 to dead left, 434 to dead center field. The outfield is almost shaped like a triangle, and players are hitting into the wind, and 314 to right field. 1-2 bounces in the dirt. Count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Braves right fielder.
Yeah, it's got a polo grounds kind of feel.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
No one's hitting any home runs to dead center field, but you mentioned the corners are very easily attainable, and that's good news for guys like Kyler Fedko, Xavier Warren, who typically hits it, pulls it toward the left side of the field. He's a switch hitter. He can really go either way.
The lefty Eder sets, hands meet in front of the letters. Now with the 1-2, it's fouled just off the glove of Rob Emery. He can't hang on for the third strike, and Fedko will see another pitch here.
Orleans has been very up and down this year. Had a 5-game winning streak, and then follow that up with a 6-game losing streak. They've just been the consistency hasn't been there. It's been the same story for the Braves as well.
There goes Poland. The pitch to Fedko, fouled off down the first base line, way out of play. The Braves trying their own hit and run. Nothing happening though on the foul ball. So Poland will return to first base, and Fedko will see another pitch. I'm sure Kyler Fedko is very tired of hearing about his brother Christian, but Christian over for Harwich will be a starter in the All-Star game, taking place right here at Eldridge on the 21st. The last Braves quote-unquote off day of the season. 2-2 to Fedko now. Just fouled off, and Sam Fedko here putting up a fight. A nice at-bat.
Yeah, he is, and that's good to see from Kyler Fedko that typically doesn't hang around in at-bats this much. He is putting a battle against Eder. It's good to run up his pitch count. Eder hasn't really had to work too hard for the first couple outs that he's gotten, but he gives a single up to Jared Poland, and now Kyler Fedko seeing a lot of pitches. And especially Eder coming out of the bullpen, too, for Vanderbilt this past year. Not used to starting. This only his second one of the year. There goes Poland again. Pitches swung on and missed, so Poland doesn't matter. It's the third strikeout of the game for Eder, and after 1 hit and straining 1, the Braves cannot amount to anything offensively. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Our score remaining 1-0 Orleans here on the Braves Broadcast Network. Bottom of the second inning. Braves trailing the Firebirds 1-0 here on Friday, July 19th. 7, 8, 9 spots, 2 up now for the Orleans Firebirds. Eddie McCabe, first to step in, hitting .262 on the year for Orleans. Lots of strikeouts for him as well, 24 so far on the season. Colby Dunlop still on the mound after suffering the first run, and fires a first pitch strike to Eddie McCabe. It was good for Dunlop to get out of that inning with just 1 run coming across the plate. He's known to kind of let things snowball on him, but he holds his own there on the mound.
0-1 is foul tipped into the glove of Jackson Greer. Count now at 0-2. Dunlop is still looking for his first strikeout of tonight's ball game. Can it get it here? The 0-2 to McCabe. Ground over to third. It's fair for Xavier Warren. He makes the throw across the diamond. Almost pulled Beloso off the bag. In fact, he did, but Beloso is able to glove it and tag the runner McCabe before he hits first for a complicated 5-3.
Well, that was a great play by Beloso. Xavier Warren was charging in, gloved it, and his throw was left of the first base bag. So it pulls Beloso off, but he quickly catches it and tags Eddie McCabe going through first. So a smart play by Beloso, always staying on his toes and making the right play there for an out.
And here's Tanner Murray. Or Lane's hitting .219 this season. First pitch from Dunlop. He squares to bunt and lays it foul down the third base line. Warren lets it go foul. A smart play from Xavier Warren. However, if that ball stayed fair, might have ended up being a double for Tanner Murray. Instead, it's just a strike one.
Yeah, that would have been one of the best bunts in Cape Cod Baseball League history. That was hanging right on the line before it just went foul before the third base bag, and Xavier Warren waited for it, touched it, and when it went into foul territory, a smart play, and it goes down as a strike. 50 feet down that way.
11 runs for Tanner Murray so far on the year. Big presence on base. He's walked 7 times. 3 stolen bases in there as well, so not a guy the Braves want to see on base. Here's the 0-1 now. Popped up into right field, sky high. Kyler Fedko moving over to his left on it toward the line. He's got it for out number 2, and Dunlop 1 out away from getting out of the second inning.
This is a big bounce back inning for Dunlop to get through the second untouched. 1, 2, 3, get some confidence back, and get the Braves bats back. That fly ball reminds me, how thankful are these fielders that there's no fog today like there was on Wednesday night at Doran Park. We hadn't seen fog all year at Doran Park, and it rolls in, and it really affected the game.
Yeah, it absolutely did, and almost how could it not with how much there was, as Rob Emery now steps in, tonight's catcher out of San Francisco, batting .255 on the year. He's got a home run as well. 1-0. And this has a chance here. Line drive to left field. Back on it is Brendan Rivoli, and make that home run number 2 for Rob Emery. He takes advantage of the first pitch, and just like that, it's 2-0 Orleans.
He shot that one to left field. Brendan Rivoli didn't have a chance. That one was rocked off of Colby Dunlop, who gives up another home run. We mentioned a week ago when he started against Falmouth, gave up a home run to Zach DeLoach, and he does it again against Rob Emery. Thought it was going to be a 1-2-3 inning, but Emery on the 1-0 pitch over the left field fence, and Orleans up 2-0.
It's about 3:15 to that part of left field, and ball is hit .330 into the parking lot. Orleans now with a 2-0 lead. Here's Zach Daniels now, and he swings and misses at his first pitch. Orleans on the year is 7th in the league in terms of run scoring. They've put 122 runs on the board. Braves, on the other hand, only 108. That's good enough for worst in the league. 0-1 pitch now to Daniels is in the zone. Strike 2.
Oh, and coming into this game, there were 3 teams tied for last place in team home runs. It was Harwich, Orleans, and Bourne. All had 14. Orleans breaks that tie with their 15th team home run of the year.
Pitch is in the dirt and blocked by Jackson Greer for a ball. The Braves, who have only scored 2 runs against Orleans the entire season, now trail by that margin, 2. And we're only in the bottom of the second inning. Dunlop steps and fires. Pitch swung on and missed. And Greer hangs on for it for the third strike and for out number 3. So one mistake by Colby Dunlop here in the bottom of the second inning leads to 1 run off 1 hit. Rob Emery hits his second homer of the year. And Orleans now has a 2-0 lead over the Bravos as we head to the top of the third inning. You're watching Braves Baseball on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Top of the third inning here from Eldridge Park in Orleans, Massachusetts. Hello, everyone. Jordan Palacio alongside Sam Wiederhaft here. The Braves trailing by 2 runs early in this one. Lastly, it was Rob Emery hitting a solo shot against Colby Dunlop. Here's Jackson Greer now for the Braves. First pitch from the lefty Jack Eaters, a big swing and a miss from the catcher Greer for strike 1.
And Greer's looking to pick things up. He's hitless since July 11th, where he went 1 for 3 against Wareham. He struck out 7 times in that stretch as well. So he's looking to get back on track. He's had a few off days, and he's looking to get back to the Jackson Greer that we know.
0-1 pitch is fouled over the press box behind home plate, and Greer is in the hole 0-2. And we were talking to Jackson Greer before Jacob Campbell was released. He was going through a little bit of an injury, some issues we heard with his thumb. He was eventually released, but in that meantime, Jackson Greer had to catch about 7 days in a row as he looks at the 0-2 fastball. Doesn't like the call from home plate Mark Delaney, but it's rung up for strike 3, a 3-pitch strikeout for strikeout number 4 for Jack Eater.
Yeah, that's strikeout 17 for Jackson Greer on the season. And he's in danger of, he will be going to this All-Star game, but he's in danger of possibly going to the All-Star game with a sub-200 average coming into this game, 217.
Here's Brennan Rivoli now for the Braves. 133 on the year for Rivoli. First pitch from Eater, grounded to the shortstop. That's Tanner Murray. He's got it. Throwing to first base, beats Rivoli by a step, and that's a quick out number 2.
And Rivoli getting aggressive, a little bouncer over to short. Didn't get any pop off that pitch, but he had a big double against YD on Wednesday in the 4th inning and a drive to left center field that got all the way to the fence. And it was good to see that from Rivoli, who we really haven't seen too much power off him. He's hit 2 doubles in just 6 hits, but he's looking to really turn things around the second half of the season.
Back to the top of the order now for Cody Morissette. First pitch to him from Eater is called a strike. Morissette flew out to Zach Kokoska in left field his first time. Only 1 hit for the Braves. The first time in the order is Jared Poland. Here's the 0-1 to Morissette. Swing and a miss. High fastball there from Eater, and Morissette very quickly in the hole here, Sam at 0-2.
Yeah, this is a game where 2 runs by Orleans could be enough. I mean, that could be it with a pitching staff like Orleans has, 3rd in the league in team ERA, and they've allowed the least amount of runs per game.
0-2, flown out to left field. Back on it is Kokoska, ranging over toward the foul line, and he makes the catch almost at the foul line for out number 3. It's another 1-2-3 inning from the Braves here in the top of the 3rd. Colby Dunlop will retake the mound and hope to keep the Orleans offense at bay when we come back here on the Braves Broadcast Network. Top of the order, due up here in the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Orleans Firebirds. They're up 2-0 over the Braves through 2.5 innings. It's Zach Kokoska due up first, who grounded out to Jimmy Glowinski at short. And Sam, it's hard to believe, but you remember back about 14 days ago or so, we started a stretch where it was 17 games in 16 days. That stretch is 2 days away from being over as the first pitch to Kokoska misses upstairs. Now, a couple of rainouts get in the way of that. That makes it 15 games in 16 days. But on that stretch, the Braves, 7-6 so far. The 1-0 to Kokoska, flown foul down the left field line, but just goes to show you how fast this season really flies by.
No, absolutely. I mean, that didn't seem like too long ago. We were talking about, wow, we got a lot of games in a short amount of days, and it's really just wound down. And the Braves, I think, have done pretty well through this stretch, hovering around 500, which is where they kind of needed to be to make the playoffs.
1-2 is a laser over to Jimmy Glowinski. Makes the backhand catch, spins around, throws on to first base in time for out number 1. And Glowinski at short, flashing the leather.
Yeah, that was beautiful glove placement by Glowinski, who played it. It was only one hop before it got to him. He slid, made the play, and turned around. A little looper throw over to first. Kind of took a little bit of an arch, but it fell right in the perfect place for Cade Beloso for the first out of the inning.
Here's Zach Britton now. He's scored a run after a single, and he looks at ball 1. Single to right field in that first inning. Only 3 hits so far for Orleans, 2 singles and a home run. This one might be another home run. Zach Britton, no doubt about it. He looked at that one for a while. He might have hit that to the parking lot, Sam. And on another big swing of the bat, it's 3-0 Orleans.
This is something you didn't expect if you're the Braves. 2 home runs by a team that was tied for last for the least amount of home runs as a team hit in this league. And it's already been 2 homers in 3 innings. And that's just another pitch that Colby Dunlop missed on location in the wrong place. It was right down the strike zone. Britton did not miss it, and he sent one high and deep to right field. There was no chance for Kyler Fedko to do anything.
3rd homer of the year for Britton, and Troiani does what he does best on the first pitch. He grounds it into right field for another single, his 2nd of the game, and now the Braves here in desperate need of a second out.
And H. Adams, the pitching coach, will head out onto the field to talk with Colby Dunlop, who is in a tough situation. He's already given up now 3 runs, 2 on home runs, and gives up a follow-up single on the very next pitch to Max Troiani. He's really rattled on the mound, and he's got to do something quick to prevent any more damage.
3 runs so far for Orleans, 1 in each inning, as the meeting on the mound between Adams and Dunlop comes to an end. Trevin Esqueda due up. He grounded out to Cody Morissette, but it was good for an RBI. Batting sub 200 coming into tonight's game at 182. But now is going up against a struggling Dunlop. First pitch to Esqueda. This is up and out for ball 1. And Dunlop struggling in his past 2 starts. One against Falmouth that was eventually washed away statistically. He gave up 7 runs in the first 2 innings, and so far he's given up 3 runs through 2 1/3. Pickoff move over to first base, and Troiani back in time with the slide.
Oh, a double play for Colby Dunlop would be huge to get out of this inning. This might very well be his last inning of pitching, but he needs to try and get out of this as soon as possible.
1-0 misses in the dirt low. Count now at 2 balls and no strikes to Esqueda. Esqueda looking for his 5th hit of the year. Coming into tonight's game, only 4 for 22. Dunlop comes set, hands made at the belt, turns around, throws over to Troiani again, but he's back in with a slide. Firebirds have not lost since last week. It was last Thursday they lost 2-0 against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. 2-0 pitch to Esqueda is chopped foul down the first base line, and Dunlop has his first strike.
Yeah, and this is an Orleans team that obviously can get hot. We saw them win 5 games in a row, then follow that up with 6 losses in a row. This is a team that's really hit or miss. And heading into playoff time where they're 3rd place, they're not secured in the playoffs, but if they can put a good string of games together, this team can make a run.
2-1 pitch is fouled off. Troiani, the runner, was moving on the pitch, but he'll have to return back to first base. Count now still at 2 balls and 2 strikes to the cleanup man today, Trevin Esqueda.
Well, these 2 teams in the bottom of the stolen bases. Bourne is way out of it. Only 8 stolen bases on the year. Orleans is second to last with 22. But we've seen both teams try hit and runs.
2-2 now to Esqueda. He pops it up foul over our heads. behind home plate across the street here at Eldridge Park as people beginning to settle in here on the famous hill down the first base line. Eldridge Park, of course, the site of the All-Star game on Sunday. Home run hitting contest before the game. Of course, 6 Braves making it to the All-Star game. Here's 2-2. Fly ball to right field. Back on is Fedko. He's under it. This one doesn't have the juice to get over the fence. He'll try and make the throw over to first base to get Troiani off, but he's back in safely, and that's a much-needed out number 2.
Yeah, I think Esqueda just missed that one. It didn't really have the drive that Zach Britton's did, but he's out for the second out. That's a big out for Colby Dunlop on the mound to put him behind the cleanup hitter. Now you move to Whitcomb, who's 0 for 1 with a fly out. Try and put him down, head back into the dugout, and close out this inning.
Just try and stop the bleeding before it gets any worse. If you're Colby Dunlop, Troiani still the runner at first. Zach Britton with his 3rd home run of the season earlier in the inning as the first pitch to Whitcomb is fouled off just by the Braves dugout on the third base side here at Eldridge Park. Whitcomb falls behind 0-1. Braves offensively struggling against Orleans so far in their first 3 games. There goes the runner, Troiani. The throw from Jackson Greer is in plenty of time. Jackson Greer catch Max Troiani stealing at second base. It looked like Cody Morissette who applied the tag, and that will get the Braves out of the inning. Shea Whitcomb will lead things off for Orleans in the bottom of the 4th. However, it's 1 run off 2 hits and nobody left on for Orleans. When we come back, we're already through the first third of the game, top of the 4th, here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Top of the 4th inning, 2, 3, 4 spots due up right now for the Braves. They trail this one 3-0 against their Eastern Division opponent in the Orleans Firebirds. Xavier Warren to lead us off, grounded out to short his last time. The Braves already in dire need of some offense here throughout the first third of the game. First pitch from Jake Eater to Warren, the switch hitter, batting from the right side, misses high for ball 1.
And the Braves need to start getting on top of Eater's pitches because this is already a 3-0 game. Orleans has a tough pitching staff, and this game could very well already be out of reach. The Braves need to start getting some offense up.
1-0 to Warren. Grounded over to third base. That's Eddie McCabe who's got it. Throw across the diamond is in time for a quick out number 1.
Yeah, just 1 hit for the Braves opposed to the Orleans 6. That 1 hit coming from Jared Poland in the 2nd inning. And Judd Fabian coming up now is going to be one of those players that the Braves are going to look to start some rallies, and he has done that the past few games. The best hitter on this Braves team.
Yeah, he struck out on 3 pitches his first time, but has the opportunity now just to get something going as the wind begins to really swift in here as Fabian fouls the first pitch off down the third baseline for strike 1. Fabian leads this team in home runs so far on the year. 5 of them. Here's the 0-1 to Fabian. Breaking ball. He had Fabian way out in front. Swung on and missed for strike 2.
7 multi-hit games as well. He's been a very productive hitter at the plate this year. 23 for 73, 20 strikeouts.
0-2 now to Fabian from Eater, and it's looked at for strike 3. Fastball right at the knees, and Fabian sent down on strikes for the second time tonight, and it's an even quicker round number 2.
And that is just such a tough fastball for anybody to catch up to. Fabian thought that was going to be low. It wasn't. It was a perfectly placed pitch by Eater. He goes down. 2 quick outs here in the 4th.
And here's Jimmy Glowacki now for the Braves. Popped up in foul territory to Trevin Esqueda his first time, and he takes this first pitch far, but foul down the left field line. A foul ball home run from Glowacki. Just missed on the off speed. It was a little out in front.
Glowacki had just 1 home run with Dallas Baptist, or 6 home runs, with Dallas Baptist. He homered for the first time in the Cape League last Wednesday, where he showed some power that's been long due for him.
0-1 misses upstairs. Count now at a ball and a strike. And he hit that home run against YD at Doran Park, of all places, the graveyard. Here's the 0-1. The 1-1, excuse me. That misses high. 2 balls and a strike now to Glowacki.
Well, we thought it was a graveyard, but
we've seen some home runs recently.
Yeah, we've seen 4 homers in the past 2 games.
Yeah. 2-1 now to Fabian. Has popped up away foul on the first baseline and land over toward the school. Count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes to the cleanup man in today's order. Jake Eater has already had 5 strikeouts through the first 3 2/3 innings. He had 4 strikeouts coming into today's start, so he's already doubled his total. 2-2 to Glowacki. Fastball that misses high, perhaps a waste pitch there from Eater, and the count fills up. 3-0 score here in the top of the 4th inning between the Braves and the Firebirds. Braves have been held to 1 hit so far. Here's the payoff pitch from Eater, and it's grounded fair down the third base line. Glowacki takes a peek at it, and he decides to go for second. Here comes a throw from left field, and it's not in time. Shea Whitcomb was pulled off the bag high, and Glowacki was able to slide in for a 2-out double here in the top of the 4th.
That pitch was roped right down the third base line for Jimmy Glowacki as he slides into second for a 2-out double. That's what the Braves need. Now with Beloso coming up, he can easily single, bring Glowacki home, and get the Braves on the board to make this just a 2-run game. That's a big hit for Jimmy Glowacki.
Big hit for Glowacki and for the Braves, looking for any offensive momentum in this game. Here's Beloso. Struck out looking his first time. First pitch from Eater, fastball that's popped up. It's drifting in foul territory, and that's where it will land. Out of play for strike 1. Beloso on the year for the Braves. Only 2 RBIs coming into today's game. Drawn 12 walks, however, 15 hits, but also now at 16 strikeouts on the season.
And he's just 2 for his last 20.
Definitely looking for some momentum. Here's the 0-1. And that finds a zone on the outer half. And just like that, Beloso having to dig himself out of a hole at 0-2.
This is what Beloso's been struggling, has been the strikeouts. His strikeout number has been up to 15 now.
That's rare for Beloso. He was known as rarely striking out at LSU. He fouls the 0-2 pitch off toward the first base dugout. It's an adjustment for everybody. We always talk about the pitching here in this league is equivalent to that of rookie ball or perhaps even single A ball. The large majority of players in this league are ended up drafted.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that gets overlooked is the fact that it's such a big change from wood bat to aluminum, or from aluminum bat to wood bat.
0-2 to Beloso, grounded over to first base, and it gets through the first baseman, Trevin Esqueda, bounces just off him, stays within reach for Shea Whitcomb to gather to keep Glowacki at third base, but the Braves now with runners on the corners with 2 outs.
And that was a hard hit ball that's going to be ended up scored as an error over to Trevin Esqueda at first. Hard hit, skips up on him. And he had his glove down, but he kept it in front of him. Beloso gets over to first. It wasn't quite enough to get Glowacki home, but now it's runners at the corners for Jared Poland, who has just 1 of 2 hits for the Braves today.
The Braves will definitely take it. Runners on the corners, or like you mentioned, Sam, the DH tonight, Jared Poland, who's got 1 of the only 2 hits The first pitch to him is fastball high. He thought about going around, but held up in time for ball one. Poland, of course, the two-way player from Louisville. He's thrown 5 2/3 for the Braves this year. Getting his 33rd at-bat of the season as well. Here's the 1-0. And it's fouled straight back into the netting behind home plate. Count now at a ball and a strike. 4 RBIs for Poland so far on the year. Has the potential number 5 RBI sitting 90 feet away at third base. 3-0 Orleans over the Braves. Bravo's looking to get on the board. Here's the 1-1, and it's popped up foul over the hill toward the parking lot. Count now at a ball and 2 strikes.
And now Eder has Poland down on a 1-2 count. And Poland's going to do whatever it takes to get that run home. The Braves desperately need a run against this tough pitching staff for the Orleans Firebirds. So Poland's going to try and hang in there as long as he can, but he'll see the best stuff that Jake Eder has to offer.
1-2 the count to the DH, Jared Poland. Braves looking to get on the scoreboard. Here's the pitch from Eder, and it's fouled off yet again over toward the school, over the hill, and Poland survives for at least one more pitch.
That's been back-to-back low fastballs off the left hand of Jake Eder that Poland's just been a little late on. He's gotten contact, fouled off on the first base side, but he's coming late. So we'll see if Eder tries that fastball for the 3rd time in a row or if he switches up off speed.
Eder comes set, hands me in front of the letters. The 1-2 pitch, and it's another foul ball from Poland. He fouls this one off over the press box, and he saw an off-speed pitch there, and he survives.
Yeah, it was high and tight, and it jammed him. Just got contact off the inside part of the bat and fouled it off behind the press box. So he remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Eder comes set, takes a breath, kicks and fires another 1-2 pitch. Off speed, low, and Poland swings and misses. It's strikeout number 6 for Jake Eder on the day, and the Braves are retired in the top of the 4th inning without recording a run. It's 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left on, all amounting to nothing on the scoreboard. Heading out to the bottom of the 4th inning. Orleans still on top of the Braves, 3-0 on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Five, six, 7 spots due up here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and Colby Dunlop's day has come to an end, just like we thought it might. 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, no walks, and 1 strikeout. And surprisingly, Sam, coming out of the bullpen here for the Braves is Nick Iverson.
Yeah, we'll see Iverson in one of the earliest appearances he'll have in this Cape Cod summer. The righty out of Gonzaga stands at 6'1", 180. This will be the 10th game that he's pitched, has a low 1.31 ERA. In 13 2/3 innings pitched. He's only allowed 11 hits, 2 earned runs on the summer, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, and he's gotten 1 save. The last game he pitched was against Harwich, where he went 1 1/3, only 2 hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts, and just faced 6 batters against the Mariners.
He goes up against Shea Whitcomb and fires a first pitch strike, and the Braves really need Nick Iverson right now, down 3-0, and they need to keep that deficit at only 3 if they want a shot at getting back into this game. 0-1 bounces in the dirt for Jackson Greer, who picks it clean. A ball and a strike now to Shea Whitcomb, who flew up to Judd Fabian in shallow center field his first time. 1-1 to Whitcomb. Just misses the zone, perhaps outside. Greer did a nice frame job. Couldn't get the call from Mark Delaney, and then the count now at 2-1 to Whitcomb.
And the Braves offense showed signs of life against Jake Eater with the double. Glowenke, they had runners at the corners.
2-1, rip down the line, fair into left field. Most likely extra bases for Whitcomb. He rounds first and will cruise into second base. He slides anyway, and a leadoff double now for Shea Whitcomb. And Sam, this Orleans offense is just rolling tonight.
No, that's obviously not how Nick Iverson wanted to start this game. A leadoff double off the bat of Shea Whitcomb, who was over 1 before that, so he's already in scoring position with Eddie McCabe coming up. And you're right, that's now 7 hits for the Firebirds, and they're rolling against this Braves pitching staff.
Here comes Eddie McCabe. Grounded out to Xavier Warren his first time. Nick Iverson has faced this Firebirds team once before. However, that was all the way back on opening night. First pitch misses high to McCabe for ball 1. And that appearance, Iverson threw 1 inning. He struck out 1. He got a 1-2-3 inning in that appearance. Also threw against Orleans in the 9-0 loss. And it's one of his only 2 appearances where he surrendered a run. Gave up 1 run in 2 1/3 innings work. Here's the 1-0. That's a strike right at the knees. Fastball there from Iverson that caught the bottom of the zone. Count now at a ball and a strike.
Yeah, this is an Orleans team that came into this game second to last in the amount of hits on the season, 221. Harwich is last with 220. And in 7th or in 8th place is Bourne with 223. And Orleans has totally forgotten about that number tonight.
1-1. Pitch is fouled up out of play over the hill. And Iverson 1 strike away now from getting his first out of this inning. And that'd be a big one here with 1 away. With the opportunity to get 1 away, as I should say.
Yeah, well, it'd be a big bounce back at bat for Iverson after allowing the leadoff double to Whitcomb.
Iverson looking in, getting a sign from the catcher Greer. Whitcomb, the runner on second base. Iverson takes a peek that way, kicks and fires, and it's fouled off yet again, this time down the right field line. Heads up to all the cars over there. And it falls harmlessly to the ground. Count remains at a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, seriously, now that you say that, I think somebody I know is parked over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it might be me.
That's all right. I think it's all right. Another 1-2 from Iverson. Warren, he looks back the runner at second, makes the throw across the diamond in time for out number 1. And more importantly, Whitcomb stays put at second base. A productive batter there for Nick Iverson.
Yeah, that's what Nick Iverson wanted. Doesn't advance the runner at second. An easy out for Xavier Warren. 1 out. You bring up Murray, who's 0 for 1. So that's exactly what Nick Iverson was looking to do on the mound.
Nick Iverson getting his sign from Jackson Greer. He comes set, takes a look at second base, now fires the first pitch to Murray, and it just misses the zone. Had to have missed low for ball 1. Tanner Murray on the year from UC Davis. Came into tonight's game hitting .219. He was 0 for 3 in the win against Catuit back on the 16th. He slices this one, moving foul down the right field line. Fedco's in pursuit, but it lands amongst the people in the crowd, and I assume someone makes a nice play because everybody applauding down the right field line. Turns out to be a strike, though, nonetheless.
And you saw the wind in action on that fly ball. It's really blowing straight toward right. And it's not blowing out toward right. It's just straight across to the right side. So that ball started out fair. Fedco thought so as well, chased it down, and then ended up all the way over in the seats.
Iverson getting his sign now. Come set. 1-1 count here to Murray. There's the pitch from Iverson, and misses outside for ball 2. Braves really need some help here. Down by 3-0. Runner in scoring position as well now for Orleans. The Bats really have yet to wake up. Only 2 hits so far in tonight's game. Here's the 2-1. Another foul ball off the foul pole. Comes back into play. Count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Iverson going to try and put down Tanner Murray for the second out of the inning, and that would be big for the Braves that lead off with a leadoff double off of the bat of Whitcomb and get the next 3 out would be a big momentum change in this game, and the Braves can take that and put that into their bats.
And Jake Eater for Orleans has only thrown 5 innings on the entire season, and he's about to throw his 5th on the other half. 2-2 pitch, flown out to right field. Fedko is back on it, moving toward the wall. He's got it. The runner is tagging up from second base, and Whitcomb will get to third with ease. However, 2 outs in the inning now on the long fly out from Tanner Murray.
Yeah, you get Shea Whitcomb over to third, but can't bring him home, and now there's 2 outs, so a sac fly won't be able to get him home. Fedko on that fly ball was a little misunderstood. He started coming in on it and then had to back up. He was able to get there in time for the second out of the inning. Murray's retired. Now it's Emery, and Emery, we know, had that line drive home run to left in his first at-bat for the second run of the 3.
And now he faces against Nick Iverson now with another potential RBI 90 feet away. First pitch in the dirt. Greer's got it with ease for ball 1. Emery with that other home run, 2 on the year now. His only other home runs came against YD back on the 13th. As he looks at a strike for a ball and a strike, and against Katuit all the way back on June 28th. Here's a 1-1 from Iverson. Fouled straight back into the screen, and Nick Iverson now a strike away from getting out of this 4th inning without surrendering a run.
Now, what you got to watch out for is a pass ball or a wild pitch from Iverson that Greer can't get. We've seen a lot of runs come across the plate just from pass balls. And so if he's trying to get Rob Emery to swing, Jackson Greer has to watch out as the catcher position.
Nick Iverson kicks and fires. Got him swinging. Iverson fires a strikeout, and after the leadoff double, the Firebirds can't get him home. He strands the runner on third base. It's Iverson's first strikeout of today's game. It's no runs off 1 hit and 1 left on for the Firebirds. The Braves will look to get their offense going. Bottom 3 due up in the order for the Bravos when we come back on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Fedko, Greer, Rivoli due up here in the top of the 5th inning. Braves need some offense. They trail this one 3-0. But before we kick things off here in the 5th, let's have a trip around the Cape, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. And since we're in Orleans, every single game is going to be west of us. So we'll start with the Wareham Gateman against the Falmouth Commodores. 5-2 win for Falmouth in the first game of the doubleheader, starting at 5:30. 5-2 Falmouth. Brewster ends Chatham's 5-game winning streak, 9-1. That game starting at 5. Brewster gets the victory there, puts a little bit more pressure on Orleans and Harwich, as Brewster is still in that 5th position. Harwich right now winning against the YD Red Sox. That game in the top of the 8th. Harwich is at home.
And Kyler Fedko steps in, looks at his first pitch that misses upstairs. I believe a couple other scores, Sam.
Top of the 6th at McKeon Park. Katuitt over Hyannis 10-2. And in the second game of the doubleheader, Wareham over Falmouth 2-0. That game is in the top of the 2nd at Spillane Field.
One of Fedko popped up on the infield sky high. That's Shea Whitcomb, who gives way to the first baseman, Trevin Esqueda, who makes the catch for out number 1, a quick out number 1, and the Braves still, Sam, really struggling to get anybody on base.
Yeah, Jimmy Glowacki got a double last inning. The problem was it was with 2 outs, and he got over to third on a Cade Beloso reaching on an error by the first baseman, Trevin Esqueda. Poland later struck out. So the Braves, that was a golden opportunity, and they couldn't get anybody home.
Here's Jackson Greer now. He grounds his first pitch near the Braves dugout for strike 1. Greer struck out on 3 pitches back in the 3rd inning. In a slump himself, jumping all the way to the number 8 spot here in tonight's game. Has not had a hit in a while. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, grounded to third base. The third baseman, McCabe's got a throw across the diamond, beats Greer by a step. And 2 up, 2 down now in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, Greer's really been in a deep slump. He's got a couple off days, so you expect him to be a little better tonight. But just a slow rolling ground ball over to McCabe at third. He was able to make the long throw to first, so Greer's retired. And now it's Rivoli. But this back half of the lineup, just nothing, no life coming from it all, from the back half at all.
Well, I wouldn't say from the top 3 of the lineup either. 0 for 6 in the top 3 of the lineup. Really, the only pressure put on has been through the 4, 5, and 6 spots. Glowacki, Beloso, Poland, the only ones to reach base so far. As Rivoli looks at a pitch outside for ball 1. Rivoli started off the season very slow, spending a lot of the time at an average under 100. As a broken back ground ball, slow roller to Whitcomb at second. He makes the play over to first base in time for out number 3. The Braves go down in order for the 3rd time in tonight's game through 5 innings. 3-0. Our score, Orleans over the Bravos, and we'll come back on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Bottom of the 5th inning, 9-1-2 spots, 2 up for the Firebirds, and Nick Iverson still on the mound. The Braves really need him to come through with another clean inning of work before they can get to the top of the order in the top half of the 6th inning. We're zooming through here at Eldridge Park. Been playing for just over an hour. We're already in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch from Iverson to Zach Daniels is in the zone on the inner half for strike 1.
Yeah, that was something that we kind of expected. Both teams relying on pitching this season, and a pitching dominated game makes for a quick ball game, and that's what this one's been so far.
0-1 from Iverson, breaking ball that misses inside for ball one. We know Harvey Shapiro, he likes to talk about how he likes to split the season up into 4 11-game seasons, as 1-1 is fouled off, 1-2 now. The Braves went 5-6 in the first 11 games of the season, the first quarter, if you will. Second quarter, the Braves fell to 3-8 during that span. Right now, sit at 5-3 throughout the third quarter of the year. 1-2 fouled back into the screen yet again. And Sam, you'd imagine with Hyannis losing big time today to at 14 points is that magic number. I'm not joking when I say this, but the Braves might be able to lose every single game the rest of the season and still make the playoffs. 1-2, fastball high, swung on and missed from Nick Iverson. His second strikeout in 2 innings and a quick out number 1.
Well, that makes you a little bit more comfortable, doesn't it? I think that magic number now dropping to 12 with Hyannis losing, I think it allows Harvey Shapiro to be a little bit more experimental in these couple games and try some things out going into playoff time, try some different combinations in the field, some different batting lineups, maybe try a few different pitchers in spots you haven't had them before, and just figure some things out before the playoffs start.
First pitch to the leadoff man, Zach Kokoska, is in the dirt for ball 1. That magic number dropping to 12 means that the Braves only need to win 3 games compared to Hyannis losing 3 more games as well. 0-1 chopped over to second base. Morissette's got it. He makes the short throw to first base in plenty of time for quick out number 2.
Yeah, it's certainly a comforting feeling that the Braves have been in all season. Hyannis really hasn't been a factor to take over that 4th spot, so the Braves have felt extremely comfortable. Now, if Hyannis was a little bit better and have put more pressure on the Braves, you might see this season turn out a little bit different, but I think Harvey Shapiro has a little bit more room to be experimental with his team almost for sure in the playoffs.
Here's the player of the game so far for Orleans, Zach Britton, who's 2 for 2, 2 runs scored, an RBI, and of course that home run back in the 3rd inning he took to deep right field. No doubter home run. Looks at a pitch in the dirt, then fouls off the next pitch into the screen. Count at a ball and a strike to the 2-hole hitter, Zach Britton. One count from Iverson. Pitch popped up. This will be in plenty of ground. Shallow center field. Judge Fabian runs under the spot, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So through 2 innings of work, Iverson's only surrendered 1 hit. He works a 1-2-3 inning in the 5th, and the Braves now coming up to the 6th inning just like that. This game flying by. We'll be back here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. It appears a new pitcher coming to the game for the Firebirds. We'll talk about him when we come back. Top of the 6th inning, and the Firebirds make a call to the bullpen here. And Jake Eater's night. He goes 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts throughout those 5 innings. He's currently in line for the win, and coming out of the bullpen for only the 2nd time this season, Sam, Reed McLaughlin.
This is a player we don't really know too much about, at least in the Cape Cod Baseball League. A rising sophomore from BYU, only stands at 5'11", 175. He's pitched in 1 inning this year, facing just 4 batters, striking out 1, walking 1. In the 1 game he played in was July 13th against YD. It was the 15-3 win. That actually got head coach Kelly Nicholson his 350th win of his career. But McLaughlin at BYU, stellar numbers, went 7-1, a 2.61 ERA in 51 2/3 innings pitched. He pitched in 25 games, collecting 4 saves on the season, 46 strikeouts, only 11 walks. So he had a stellar season for BYU, and he's looking to translate that into his summer.
And he'll have to do it against the top of the Braves order here, top of the 6th inning, and perhaps a little bit of a confidence booster for the Braves, knowing they don't have to go against Eater anymore. They now face the righty, Reed McLaughlin. First pitch to Morissette. He takes just foul down the third base line. Very aggressive going after the first pitch, and he falls behind 0-1.
This could be a turnaround and momentum for the Braves. They finally get Jake Eater out of this game. Only got 2 hits off him. Now you have Reed McLaughlin, not a ton of Cape experience. They could try and get all over him.
0-1 as a high fastball fouled back into the screen, and Morissette quickly falling in the hole here at 0-2. Only 2 hits for the Braves so far today. Glowacki's double in the 4th, and along with Pullen, he got a single back in the top of the 2nd inning. Here's the 0-2 to Morissette. It's in the dirt, and Emery keeps it in front. Ball and 2 strikes now to the second baseman. McLaughlin out of BYU to Desert Mountain High School in Scottsdale, Arizona. Fires a 1-2 pitch into Morissette, who he fouls off yet again. Out of play. Down the third base line, and he survives to see another pitch from McLaughlin.
Morissette is fully expected to get on base. The leadoff hitter, he hasn't batted leadoff the entire year. Judd Fabian was the leadoff hitter for a bit. Xavier Warren. Now Cody Morissette steps into this spot with how good he's been at the plate recently.
1-2 fastball is foul tipped back into the glove of Rob Emery, and the first batter up for Reed McLaughlin strikes out swinging. 1 out here in the top of the 6th.
Well, that's McLaughlin's 2nd strikeout of his season. He strikes out Morissette, sits down the leadoff batter, and that's a big one. To set down a player like Morissette, who's been batting extremely well, worked his way all the way into the All-Star game, to set him down for the 3rd time tonight, that's a big factor to take out of this Braves lineup.
Now here's Xavier Warren. First pitch to him misses inside for ball 1. Warren 0 for 2 with a pair of ground outs, 1 to short, 1 to third. The Braves have had 16 offensive outs, 7 of which coming by way of the strikeout. About half their outs have been striking out. So the 1-0 misses in the dirt. Count now at 2-0 to the now lefty hitting Xavier Warren.
Well, Orleans has shut out the Braves already twice this season in their 3 matchups. They have 6 shutouts on the year. All 6 of them have come against Western opponents.
Here's a 2-0 to Warren. That's in the zone on the inner half off the fastball. Count now at 2 balls and a strike to tonight's third baseman out of Central Michigan. Warren originally brought on as a temporary player and has seemed to earn himself a spot permanently on this team. 2-1, popped up foul again. Count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes to tonight's third baseman.
And Warren's down in the county, has the team leading number of 21 strikeouts. Struck out once 2 nights ago against YD.
Reed McLaughlin kicks and fires. 2-2 pitch. It's fought off, drifting toward the left field line. It falls into foul territory, and Warren survives here for another pitch. Braves in last place in terms of scoring so far this season. Only 108 runs. That's last place. However, on the other hand, they've giving up the third fewest runs at 112 coming into tonight's game, now sitting at 115. 2-2 to Warren. Another foul ball down the third base line. Warren staying alive here in this at-bat. 2-2.
This is big to knock around Reed McLaughlin a little bit. This is only the second batter that he's faced. Xavier Warren can run that pitch count up, really see all that he has. And what he can do by that is he can go back to the dugout and tell him, hey, when this was the count, this is what he did. And give his players a little bit more insight into what McLaughlin has.
Another 2-2 for McLaughlin. Breaking ball. This one will stay in fair territory into left center field. That's the left fielder, Zach Acosta, under it, and he makes the catch for out number 2.
Well, Warren saw a lot of pitches in that at-bat, just had to sky one out off the off-speed from McLaughlin. A fly ball to left field, and that's 2 quick outs against this top of the lineup. That's certainly expected to do a lot more for the Braves. No hits between the first 3 batters, and it's on to Judd Fabian to put out a 2-out rally here.
Yeah, he's 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking. He goes around on the check swing on his first pitch for strike 1. Hyannis falling to 6.25-1. Unlikely that they'll finish the rest of the season without a win, as Fabian looks at ball 2. However, if they end up losing out, they'll be the worst team record-wise in Cape Cod Baseball League history. Hyannis, from about 10 or so years ago, ended up with only 7 wins. 1-1 pitch misses low again. 2-1 now. The count to the center fielder, Fabian.
And that team has talent. You got players like Hunter Goodman, who's knocked about 5 or 6 home runs on the year. He'll be starting in the All-Star game. Just has incredible power. They just haven't been able to put everything together.
2-1 rope down the left field line. That'll end up foul, though. Fabian just a little too far in front of the pitch from McLaughlin, and now he is in the hole here again with 2 strikes, in danger of striking out for his 3rd time.
He doesn't want to fall back into that slump that he had last week, where he had that 2 home run game against Katuitt and never broke out of that slump until he hit a home run against Katuitt at home in the bottom of the 8th to give the Braves the win.
2-2 pitch, fastball high. Fabian fans at it, and he'll go down on the strikeout for the 3rd time in as many at-bats. 1-2-3 inning for the Firebirds against the Braves. Heading to the bottom of the 6th. The score still 3-0 Orleans over the Bravos. We'll be back on the Braves Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 6th inning, and Harvey Shapiro decides to make another move to the bullpen. Nick Iverson's day comes to an end. 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, and coming in as an all-star here, Sam, Carl Johnson.
And Johnson got a hot start to the summer. He did no team's got a hit or a run against him, in his first 6 outings. And then in his past 2 outings, he's allowed 4 hits each. And the last one against YD was his worst. 4 earned runs on 4 hits. He only went 1 inning. He picked up the loss in that one with 1 walk and 1 strikeout, where he faced 9 batters. On the year, has a 2.93 ERA, a 1-1 record. This will be his 9th game and 15 1/3 innings pitched, 15 hits, 17 strikeouts, and just 2 walks.
First pitch to Max Troiani is a little bit of chin music up over the head of Troiani. Got past the catcher Greer for ball 1. Troiani has done what he always does. 2 for 2, both singles in tonight's game. 1-0, another piece of chin music. It backs Troiani out of the plate, and Johnson struggling to find the release point here, 2-0.
And he's really backing him off the plate. 2 high and tight fastballs from Johnson.
Here's the 2-0. That one finds a zone right at the knees. It looks like Johnson found it. Fires in his first strike. Johnson on the year. Then pretty good ERA. 2-2 is fought off. It'll slice down the right field line, and it lands fair. Troiani, I think, didn't think that ball would end up fair. Perhaps he lost it in the lights. Nonetheless, he's got his third single of the game here in the bottom of the sixth.
Another single for the king of singles, Max Troiani. That ball off the end of the bat. He didn't really know where it was, just kind of stood in the box there for a little bit and then jogged over to first, but he leads it off with a single, 3 for 3.
Here's Trevin Esqueda, 0 for 2, but with an RBI, ground out, and a fly out. Johnson, that ERA at 2.93 is. First pitch to Esqueda. Deep fly ball to right field. Fedko, all he can do is look up at it. It's a home run fest, a home run derby, if you will, here 2 days before the All-Star game. Another home run. This time it's a 2-run home run, and it's 5-0 Orleans.
Another no-doubter to right field. Esqueda rocked that one off of Carl Johnson. A 2-run big fly. Make that the third home run for Orleans, and they've broken this game wide open. It's not every day you see a home run against Carl Johnson, the way he's been dominant all year. But Esqueda got all over that pitch and widens the Firebirds lead.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. Here comes Shea Whitcomb. First pitch from Johnson misses up and in. And you have to wonder, confidence-wise, where Carl Johnson is at. Gave up 4 runs his last outing against YD. Gave up a run before that. Giving up 2 tonight as this pitch flown out to left field. And it looks like it was caught by the left fielder there. Brennan Rivoli moving over to the left, able to make the catch round number 1.
And Johnson, he started out the year so dominant. No team's getting a run against him in 6 outings, his first 6 outings of the year. And the past 3 times he's struggled. And that's just probably a factor of just getting tired. It's the middle, the dog days of July. It's hot out. And he's thrown a lot of innings. And he's probably just getting a little bit tired.
Here's Eddie McCabe now. First pitch to him is a strike. Oh, and now popped up foul. 0-2, and Braves have overall on the season been good against Eastern teams, sitting at 7-8, about 500. However, on the road, that's where they've seemed to struggle. Only 5-10 on the road so far this season, and barring an unlikely comeback, most likely will be falling to 5-11 here tonight. Here's the 0-2. Grounded up the middle. That's right to Cody Morissette. He's got it. Throw on to first base, and there's out number 2 now to Eddie McCabe.
And you look at that East record, how far under 500 they are, and that's going to be the record you look at come playoff time because the Braves are going to have more than likely the 4 seed, the lowest seed in the West, and every single series they play is going to be 2 road games for them and 1 home game. So if they want to put together a playoff run, they're going to need to start performing on the road.
Here comes Tanner Murray now. He's over 2 with a pair of flyouts to Kyler Fedko in right field. First pitch to him from Johnson, breaking ball. That misses down and in for ball 1. Well, excluding rainouts for the Braves, we've only had 2 off days since June 27th, and that's it for the rest of the year as well, as the 1-0 misses in the same spot, 2-0. They had July 4th off, however, participated in 2 town parades in Sandwich, Massachusetts, and, of course, in Bourne.
That puts a beating on your legs.
Yeah, it does. And then had July 4th off. And 2-0 is swung on and missed. Excuse me, have the 21st off as well. for the All-Star game. However, 6 Braves are participating in that game on Sunday. After that, there are games every single day for as long as the Braves will be in the playoffs. 2-1 pitch, popped up foul. Count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Braves obviously hoping for an off day on that August 1st. That was slated as an off day for the longest time, the day before the playoffs. And then the rain out last night in a game that was supposed to be played against Brewster. There's really nothing more you can do than have a game on that day. So the Braves are rolling right from a game against Brewster and more than likely right into the playoffs.
2-2 misses upstairs. Count now filling up at 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Tanner Murray. Well, that is the baseball lifestyle. Not a lot of days off. Originally, the schedule, 44 games in 51 days. 3-2 pitch misses low. It's another base runner here for the Firebirds here with 2 away.
That's the first walk of the game suffered by any Braves pitcher. It's to Tanner Murray, who worked a 3-2 count, gets on. You bring up Rob Emery, who's already homered in this game. It's all looking up for the Firebirds, and this is encouraging for them. Brewster winning tonight. They gain ground. Orleans, more than likely, if they can keep this up, they'll pick up a win and just remain. All they want to do is remain in that 3rd spot in the East.
Battling for home field with YD. First pitch now to Rob Emery. He goes around on the check swing. However, the ball skips away from Jackson Greer, the catcher. So Tanner Murray will take second base on, I believe, will be ruled as a pass ball. And now a runner in scoring position here for Orleans with 2 outs.
And Greer's had a good one behind the plate. That's the first one that's getting behind him. That's the first one that's gotten behind him all game. And unfortunately allows Murray to get to second now. But 2 outs. All Carl Johnson has to do is focus on Emery.
Actually goes in the book as a wild pitch. Here's the 0-1. That's in the zone for strike 2. The easy way to not have to worry about that runner on second base is by taking care of Rob Emery. Hit that home run in the 2nd inning. However, struck out to Nick Iverson back in the 4th. Johnson looking for a sign from Greer. Really taking his time. Now comes set, hands meet in front of the letters. Now fires home the 0-2. It's in the dirt. Greer does a nice job of blocking it with his chest protector. Count now to ball and 2 strikes. (5-0) score here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Orleans on top of the Braves. A 2-run home run early in the inning by Trevin Esqueda. 1-2 is also in the dirt. Greer picks it clean. Count now at 2-2.
And Johnson's just trying to get Emery to chase, and he's not going after anything. A pretty well-disciplined 2 pitches he watches in the dirt to run the count even, 2-2.
Johnson shakes off a sign from the catcher Greer. Now comes set. Here's the 2-2. Misses down and outside, and Johnson, who is up 0-2 on the catcher Emery, now has him in a full count at 3-2. Johnson comes set. Here's the payoff pitch from Johnson. Popped up. It's moving toward out of play territory. Beloso is met by the fence. The ball ending up on the other side of the fence. So Emery stays alive, and he'll see another pitch at 3-2.
That was close. Beloso put some chase over to it by the seats on the first base side, and fans can sit right up on the fence line. So the dugout, there's a fence behind the dugout, and fans can sit right up by the line, and Beloso almost had to dive into there, but he decided to back off.
Runner on second here for Orleans. They're up 5-0 on the Braves. Here's the payoff pitch from Johnson. Fouled off once again, out of play over the hill toward the school. 2 runs in this bottom of the 6th inning. 2-run home run off the bat of Esqueda. The 3rd home run of the night, won by Rob Emery, who's batting right now, back in the 2nd, and then Zach Bryn with a no-doubter in the 3rd. Here's a payoff from Johnson. Got him looking, a breaking ball, and Emery knew it right away. He goes down for the second time tonight on the strikeout, but not before. The Firebirds strike for 2 runs off the 2-run home run. It's 2 runs off 2 hits, 1 left on for Orleans. 5-0 now our score as we head into the final third of the ball game. We'll be back on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Top of the 7th inning, and it's 4, 5, 6 spots go for the Braves. They need a lot of runs in not a lot of time here. They're trailing 5-0. Jimmy Glowacki will step in to try and start a rally here in the final third of the ball game. Glowacki, one of only 2 hits for the Braves in this one, a double back in the 4th inning. First pitch to him from Reed McLaughlin, getting his 2nd inning of work. Misses upstairs for ball 1.
Well, this game's going almost exactly like opening day did, except a little more offense for Orleans. That was a 2-0 win for the Firebirds. Braves in that game only had 4 hits.
1-0 to Glowacki, called a strike right at the bottom of the zone. A ball and a strike now.
You talk about change. 6 of the 11 batters that appeared in the game for the Braves are not with the team anymore.
Chief among them, Ernie Yank, playing opening night. That was his only appearance of the season, as the 1-1 fouled off by Glowacki. Ball and 2 strikes now to him.
Nick Iverson went 1 inning in that game. No hits, struck out 1.
Of course, Adam Seminaris coming in and winning that game, going 5 innings strong. Jeffrey Palmer getting credit for the save in the 9th. 1-2 is in the dirt. Count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes to the shortstop, Glowacki. This will be the last time these 2 teams play each other, except if both of them make the championship series. Two, just misses outside. Good pitch there from McLaughlin. An even better take there from Glowacki. Count filling up now at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Glowacki laid off the high, fast stuff from McLaughlin.
Payoff pitch from McLaughlin. Line drive right back up the middle, and Glowacki has his 2nd hit of the night. 2nd in as many at-bats for him. He moves to 2 for 3 on the night, and the Braves have a leadoff base runner.
That's what they need. Now you got Beloso, who is struggling right now, but has showed signs of being a fantastic hitter in the past when he first got up in the Braves organization. So Glowacki gets on. Beloso, you really have the middle of this lineup due up, and this is the chance for the Braves to do some damage down 5-0.
First pitch to Beloso, popped up foul. Beloso 0 for 2. However, he's gotten on base once. He struck out looking in the 2nd and then reached on an air in the 4th. As Beloso gets a sign from Harvey Shapiro, Glowacki at first base. Has not stolen a base all year. See if he's on the move here. The Braves trailing by 5 runs. 0-1, rope down the right field line, has a chance of going fair, just foul. It would have been a ground rule double, would have been right on top of the fence if it stayed fair, but it hooks foul, and Beloso now in the hole 0-2.
Yeah, he got a hold of one, pulled it right down the right field line, just slicing foul at the final second, probably about 5 feet to the left, and that ball is a fair ball right on the line, but it's a long strike for Beloso, and he now falls behind 0-2.
That's just kind of how the night is going for the Braves. Close to having an extra base hit, and it just hooks just foul. Now he's in the hole here, 0-2. Glewenke, the runner, on first. Here's the 0-2 for McLaughlin. Fly ball into left field, shallow left field, and is landing foul. So Beloso fights off a pitch there, staying alive in the at-bats at 0-2.
And he's going to battle. Braves have a precious runner over at first, and Beloso is a player that's known to battle. He has 11 walks on the year. And down 0-2, Beloso's not going to go down without a fight.
I mentioned before that at Louisiana State, that he was known for not striking out. Very rarely struck out. Had some problems with it this year, striking out 16 times. Here, 0-2, check swing, and they say he went around on the check swing. That'll go down as a strikeout. Reed McLaughlin picks up another K, make that his third tonight, and there's one away here in the 7th.
And Beloso was just in that mid-season slump. He started out hot, reached base in his first 13 games, and hitless tonight. He'll be, if it finishes out that way, hitless in his last 4 games, and he's really just looking to put some things back together.
Here's Jared Poland. First pitch from McLaughlin just misses the zone low for ball 1. Poland 1 for 2, a single, and then a strikeout with Glewenke on third base in the 4th inning, the closest the Braves have been to putting a run up on the board in tonight's ball game. 1-0 misses the zone low. Count now at 2 balls and no strikes to Poland. Braves being held to 3 hits so far in tonight's game. And Jimmy Glewenke on first base with 2 of them. 2-0 fastball finds the outer half of the plate for a strike. 2-1 now to the DH.
Yeah, Poland just looking for something to hit into the outfield, get on base. And Braves just looking to put some runs on the board. Just 1 run in the entire season against the Firebirds in their 3 matchups.
2-1, grounded up the middle slowly. And it's caught by the shortstop. A glove flip to second is in time. Poland beats out the throw to first, but Tanner Murray, what a play to flip it with his glove to Shea Whitcomb covering second base.
That was fantastic. It was hit right up the middle, so Murray's momentum was carrying him toward right field, and he flipped it with the glove. A backhand over to Shea Whitcomb covering. A smart play and a great play by Tanner Murray at short to get the out, the leading runner, and Jimmy Glewenke for the second out of the inning.
Now here's the right fielder, Kyler Fedko, 0 for 2. Strikeout and a pop-up in this game. Poland replaces Glewenke on first, thanks to the fielder's choice, as Fedko fouls his first pitch off straight back into the screen for strike 1. The Braves, of course, we know, much like any other team, not very good when they can't score. 2-11 in games where they score 2 or less runs. 0-1. Flare into center field. That's Zach Daniels. He's right under it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. No runs off of 1 hit and 1 left on stretch time here at Eldridge Park, and the Braves down big time. 5-0 as we head into the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll be back on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th inning here at Eldridge Park. 5-0 game between the Firebirds and the Braves, and Carl Johnson's night comes to an end after only 1 inning, giving up 2 hits, a 2-run home run to Trevin Esqueda. Results in both of his runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeouts, and for the first time this season, and for the first time in a long time, I'm saying this, Sam, a new face out of the Braves bullpen at Braxton Roxby.
A rising junior out of the University of Pittsburgh, Johnstown. He's a right-handed pitcher standing at 6'3". This is his first appearance. He was signed by the Braves just 3 days ago, excuse me. He comes in for his first appearance. Now at Pitt Johnstown, he had a 4.95 ERA, 5-3 record for them, pitching 56 in a third innings. Strikeouts, he had 67 and walked just 33. So he comes in a new face. The first time in a while we've had a new face pitching in their first game, but Braxton Roxby coming in to face this hot Firebirds lineup already with 5 runs.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sam, if he was making his first appearance in 3 years on being a team, it'd be a little disconcerting. I'm not going to lie to you.
A simple slip of the tongue.
No, yeah, I know. First pitch now to Zach Daniels, the center fielder, swung on and missed. Daniels 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, bringing his total up to 27 coming into this at-bat. Nine 1-2 spots due up here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 0-1 from Roxby is in the zone for strike 2. No balls and 2 strike now to Daniels. And now, Sam, I think score seems, at least for the time being, a little bit out of reach. Obviously, the Braves not going to hit a 5-run home run an inning, have to come back over time. But this now game turns into a little bit of a tryout here for Brandon Roxby, an audition, if you will. 0-2 to Daniels. Misses on the fastball down and inside.
Yeah, it is. He's from a small school in Pitt, Johnstown, and gets a rare opportunity to come up for the Braves, who at the time had 29 roster spots. Jay Campbell gets released. You bring in a new catcher, and Roxby a new pitcher as well. Adds some more depth to this bullpen. And, yeah, this is an absolute tryout. He's getting his first look in front of all of these scouts.
Yeah, big opportunity for him to make an impression here with Hart already on a pretty loaded bullpen, but now has the opportunity to become perhaps that middle reliever. Here's the 1-2. Popped up foul over the press box. And Daniels stays alive. Coming from a small school, now an opportunity on the biggest stage here in collegiate summer ball in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Roxby, the righty, comes set, now steps off.
You want to talk about small. There it is. A little less than 3,000 kids attend Pitt Johnstown.
Pitch from Roxby, swung on and missed, and his first batter, he gets his first strikeout in his Cape Cod Baseball League career. Down goes Zach Daniels for the 3rd time tonight on the strikeout.
That's the way you want to start off your summer for Braxton Roxby, a little off speed. That Daniels is way out in front of the first strikeout for Roxby during the summer and the first out of the 7th.
Here's Zach Kokoska now stepping in. Kokoska, forgettable night for him. 0 for 3, all 3 ground outs. First pitch to Kokoska is in the dirt for ball 1. 3,000 students. Pretty confident there was about 5,000 at my high school.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, very, very small school. Here's the 1-0 to Kokoska. Popped up foul over the road here behind Eldridge Park. Ball on a strike now.
He gets noticed by the Braves, signed on July 16th, appearing in his first game. This is a big moment for him. I guarantee you he's never had this kind of opportunity to perform in front of scouts of such high caliber.
1-1. Off speed, fouled straight back into the screen. Now Roxby here at 1-2.
What a big night for the East Division as the bottom 3 teams all take down the top 2 in YD and Chatham. Brewster wins. The Harwich game is final. They win it 9-4. And Orleans on top right now.
1-2 to Kokoska. Fastball that misses low. 2-2 now. So an opportunity for Orleans to climb on YD. They currently trail by 5 points. But if they get the win tonight, that'll move them up to 35. Only 3 behind the second place YD Red Sox. Just a game and a half. 2-2 now to Kokoska. Swung on and missed. And Braxton Roxby, 2 up, 2 down, both on the strikeout. It's been successful for him so far.
Yeah, big first appearance in the Cape Cod Baseball League. He retires the first 2 batters. Now, he's really facing a challenge in Zach Britton. The previous batters he faced, Daniels has struck out now 3 times, and Kokoska is 0 for 4. Britton, however, 2 for 3, a single, and a home run in the 3rd inning.
First pitch to Britton is in the dirt for ball 1. You mentioned, Britton, 2 for 3. He represents 2 out of the 5 runs. Home run as well against Colby Dunlop. Here's the 1-0. That just misses the zone. You have to assume up. Count now at 2 balls and no strikes now to Zach Britton.
Orleans, obviously the pressure is on from Harwich and Brewster, who are looking to get one up in the division. A big win here for them if they can close it out.
2-0 foul tipped into the glove for Jackson Greer for a strike. Meanwhile, on the West, Hyannis losing tonight. It will keep that gap with the Braves at least even, unless the Braves come back to win this game. Time called. Hyannis 6-24-1, and really the story of their season. None of their temporary players really panning out. 2-1 swung on and missed from Britton, and now Roxby a strike away from striking out the side.
And those top 3 in the Western Division really tightening up with Katuitt ahead of Hyannis right now. Falmouth is trailing Wareham. So Katuitt and Wareham, if they both win their games, that'll be a tied for first. And Falmouth already grabbing a win against Wareham earlier in that doubleheader, just closely behind.
2-2 fastball is in the dirt. Count filling up at 3-2. Braves taking on the Gatemen later today. So depending on the results of that second game with Falmouth, will either be the first place Gatemen or the tied first place Gatemen. Braves have only been able to get 1 win against Wareham so far in the year. 1-3 on the year. Here's a payoff pitch now from Roxby. Breaking ball in the zone. Strike 3. Welcome to the Cape Cod Baseball League. Braxton Roxby, 3 up, 3 down. He strikes out the side. The Braves looking to get offense going here in the top of the 8th inning. We'll be back on the Braves Broadcast Network. Top of the 8th inning here between the Firebirds and the Braves here from Eldridge Park. Jordan Palacio alongside Sam Wiederhaft. And it's 8-9-1 spots due up here for the Braves. Reed McLaughlin still on the mound, working strong in his 3rd inning of work here. Will face Greer, Rivoli, and then back up to the top with Cody Morissette. Greer on tonight's game, 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. And Sam, he's looking for his first hit since July 11th.
Yeah, hitless in his past 4 games and hitless in his first 2 at-bats. A hard swinging strike on the first pitch. He's really fallen into a tough slump, and I think that's tough for him. He played a lot of consecutive games in a row, but he's looking to turn things around.
Yeah, in danger of entering that All-Star game on Sunday at under 200. 0-1 pitch is low and outside, a ball and a strike now. Greer, tonight's catcher out of East Tennessee State, is in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Jackson Greer. And moving forward here for the Braves, they play Wareham tomorrow as the 2-1 pitch swung on and missed. 2-2 now. They have the All-Star game Sunday, and then they enter the final week and a half of the season. They're at YD, at Catuit, have 2 in a row with Hyannis, and then at home against Chatham. So 3 games in a row at home. 2-2 pitch is lined into the right center field gap. Jackson Greer has a base hit, his first in a week, and it's a leadoff base runner here for the Braves on the first hitter single here for Jackson Greer.
Well, there it is. We saw the pop off the bat. If that had a little bit more drive, it would have gotten more into the gap, but Zach Daniels cuts it off in right center field. Greer gets his first hit since July 11th against Wareham, and he's on a leadoff base runner.
Here's Brennan Rivoli now for the Bravos. 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts. First pitch to him, he'll foul down the left field line. And Sam, as you look at the Braves' schedule, what for you is a satisfactory performance going up against tough teams like Catuit, YD, 3 in a row against Falmouth? What for you, with the Braves in all likelihood getting that 4th playoff spot, makes you feel at least a little bit better? You can hold on to that answer as Rivoli lines a ball into left field. Back-to-back singles now for the Braves as the offense finally seems to have waken up here on the top of the 8th. Runners on first and second with nobody out.
Yeah, that's what you need to put a couple base runners on. And looking at the rest of the schedule, it's going to be tough. The Braves obviously have a lot of tough Western opponents in Catuit and Wareham, both teams that they've beaten before. I think finishing out the season, if you stay where you're at right now, hovering around 500, which I think is what the Braves are going to do, obviously easily in the playoffs, but really I think what matters is those last 5 games.
First pitch to Cody Morissette, fouled off, out of play down the left field line for strike 1.
It's that doubleheader with Falmouth, and then you play Falmouth again, 3 in a row, Brewster, Wareham.
And then Brewster again.
And then Brewster again, you're right. We're at the August 1st. So you have to go into the playoffs hot. And I think you got to win probably 4 or 5 of those games to build a deep playoff run.
0-1 to Cody Morissette is looked at for strike 2. Morissette falling behind. And the Braves most likely, barring a late season tear, will go into the playoffs as a 4th seed, facing either the number 1 Wareham or Catuit, you'd imagine. 0-2 pitch skied high. Infield fly rule is in effect, and that will be the call. So Morissette put out regardless of the catch. However, the catch is made by Tanner Murray, the shortstop, for out number 1.
That's a tough first out. Morissette will go hitless tonight unless he comes back and hits. Xavier Warren now coming up with 1 out, but a double play ends this inning.
Here's Xavier Warren now stepping in. He's 0 for 3, looking for his first hit. Runners on first and second now for the Braves. First pitch to Warren is inside for ball one. Braves on the road have not been performing well. 5-10 on the year. 1-0 is also up and in. 2-0 now to Warren.
If Warren can hit one in the gap here, possibly bring 2 runs in, it's a ball game again. But Warren just hasn't been able to get solid contact on any pitch tonight. They've taken care of him extremely well.
And well, neither has the rest of the Braves offense either. 2-0 to Warren. Fastball that finds a zone. 2 balls and 1 strike now to the third baseman. Here's the 2-1 from McLaughlin now on Warren, and it's called a strike on the outer half. And just as soon as he was up 2-0, now the count evens at 2-2. Tough game off tonight for the Braves offensively. Only 5 hits here in the 8th inning. Jimmy Glowanke got to third base, and that's the closest the Braves have been to scoring a run so far tonight. Here's a 2-2 to Warren. Fastball way up. Count now filling up at 3-2.
And on deck, you'll have a pinch hitter and Kyle Hess taking out Judd Fabian. If he gets up, a 1 out, runners on first and second situation for Xavier Warren, full count.
Here's a payoff pitch now from McLaughlin. It sails upstairs. The base is loaded now here in the top of the 8th inning. The Braves looking to make something happen here in the pinch hitter for Kyle Hess.
Yeah, Kyle Hess says there will be a meeting. Kelly Nicholson, the manager, will head out and talk with Reed McLaughlin. I believe they'll be going to the bullpen.
Well, now Judd Fabian is also grabbing a helmet as well. So one of those will he or won't he moments. Reed McLaughlin is coming off. So Orleans will make a pitching change here. The Braves knocking on the door here. Top of the 8th inning. Bases loaded with only 1 away. We'll take a quick break and come back with a new picture and the new hitter as well here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. McLaughlin's night comes to an end. He goes 2 1/3, giving up 3 hits. No runs yet. However, the bases are loaded. All of those runs belong to him. 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. Kyle Hess will pinch hits for Judd Fabian, and he's going up against Zebulon Vermillion.
A rising junior out of Arkansas, stands at 6'5", 220. A right-handed pitcher on the year, 3.37 ERA. This will be the 7th game he's pitched in, a 1-0 record for him. He's come in relief in all 6 appearances. 5 1/3 innings pitched, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 8 hits. The last time he pitched was the 15-3 win against YD for the Firebirds. He went 1 inning there, allowing 3 hits, 2 earned runs, and walked 1.
First pitch to Kyle Hess is called a strike, so he goes behind 0-1. Hess on the year, 226. However, he's got 5 RBIs in his last 4 games. Went 1 for 3 against YD in the 6-0 win. Had an RBI there. 0-1 pitch, popped up foul, just missing the light pole. Count now at 0-2 to Hess. He's quickly in the hole here against Vermillion.
Hess has found a little bit of hitting his past couple games. He mentioned 5 RBIs in his last 4 games after only getting 1 in his first 16.
Vermillion sets, kicks, and fires. The 0-2 off speed, misses upstairs. A ball and 2 strikes now. And Sam, what do you think of the move here? Fabian leads the team in home runs. You're down by 5. You take Fabian out in favor of the lefty-righty matchup.
Well, we know Harvey Shapiro loves the matchup game. And if it's me, I'm leaving my best hitter in there. But he goes in favor of the matchup.
1-2 misses down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Hess. Now, to be fair to Hess, he has found a little bit of a stride here. Hit a 2-run home run against Harwich back on the 14th. Those are the only 2 runs that the Braves scored in that game. 2-2 now to Hess. Grounded just foul right behind the catcher, back to the backstop, and he's staying alive here at 2-2.
Yeah, he's found some hitting, and Harvey Shapiro obviously trusts him in this situation with the bases loaded, just 1 out. Braves looking to light up the scoreboard and make this game a game again.
2-2 to Hess. He takes a pitch that just misses the zone. A good take from Kyle Hess. 2-2 missing outside, and now the count all filled up at 3-2 with the bases loaded.
That was close outside from Vermillion, but the count runs full. This is a big pitch.
Payoff pitch from Vermillion, and he takes it up and out for ball 4. The Braves walk home a run. Jackson Greer will jog home, and the Braves on the board here in the top of the 8th inning, only trailing by 4 runs now.
Back-to-back walks, both on 3-2 pitches, 1 from McLaughlin and 1 from Vermillion. Now you get Jimmy Glowacki up, who's already got 2 hits in this game so far. The bases are loaded. He's coming off a game where he hit a 2-run home run, so he's found a little bit of hitting as well and could look to put the Braves back in this game. He's the tying run.
First pitch to Jimmy Glowacki, misses up and in for ball 1. And he is the hot hitter right now in the Braves lineup. 2 for 3. A double and a single to his credit. And he has the opportunity now to really make a dent in this lead. Rivoli, the runner on third, Warren at second, and Kyle Hess at first. Here's the 1-0. A little floater, and it's just caught by the second baseman, Shea Whitcomb, leaping in the air. He puts away the blooper, out number 2 now in the 8th.
Oh, that could be a game-saving catch for the Firebirds. Shea Whitcomb had to move back on it. It was a blooper, not hit too hard off the bat of Glowacki to shallow center field. Whitcomb moved back, leaped up, and made the catch for the second out of the inning. That's a huge out.
Now here's Cade Beloso looking for his first hit of the game. He's 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, and he reached on an air back in the 4th inning. First pitch from Vermillion, fouled straight back into the screen. Beloso barely missed it. He falls behind 0-1.
And what better way to end your slump with an extra base hit, get a couple runs home, put the Braves back into the ball game for Cade Beloso.
Grand Slam would also work too, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That would really get the confidence back. Here's the 0-1. Line drive up the middle. This will be a base hit. Here comes Rivoli to score. Warren giving the go-ahead around home. It's a play at the plate. Warren slides home safely. The throw from Zach Daniels in center field couldn't get him. We have a game on our hands. Cade Beloso, a 2 RBI single, and the Braves only out of it by 2 runs.
And this game gets interesting again. Cade Beloso, a hard-hit single right back up the middle, scores 2, and the Braves now only down by 2, 5-3 in the top of the 8th inning. Now we'll have time called by Rob Emery, but the Braves make this game interesting.
Beloso comes through, gets his first hit of the night, scoring 2 runs. Greer, Rivoli, and Warren all coming around to score. Now Jared Poland to step up at the plate. Hess the runner at second, and Beloso the runner at first. Emery's meeting with Vermillion comes to an end, and Jared Poland here, a base hit, could score Kyle Hess and cut the lead to only 1 run.
That's exactly what Poland's going to wait and do. He already has a single, a strikeout in the 4th inning, and he got on by a fielder's choice just 1 inning ago. So he's looking to get his second hit of the ball game and bring a run home.
First pitch to Poland is a much-needed strike, 92 miles an hour on the radar gun, right at the knees. A base hit here from Poland could really make things interesting. The Braves have already done their job. The last 2 innings, you like to split your deficit in half, and they've done exactly that, scoring 3 of the 5 here in the 8th. 0-1, a breaking ball that curves into the zone, and Poland very much behind here at 0-2.
This could be the only chance the Braves have to come back in this game. Poland has to battle here. He's got to get on base.
Vermillion sets, hands meet in front of the waist. The 0-2 pitch, fly ball into left field. A back on it is Kokoska. He's under it, hand at the wall, and it's just short. Kokoska makes the catch. Jared Poland was 5 feet away from giving the Braves the lead, but instead, it's the end of the top of the 8th inning. The Braves strike for 3 runs off of 3 hits, and they leave 2 on base here. 5-3, the Braves trail Orleans. Man, that was close. We'll be back on the Braves Broadcast Network. I'd say happy welcome to the Cape Cod Baseball League for Braxton Roxby. His night comes to an end. He only pitches the 7th inning. He strikes out the side in that inning. 1-2-3. Now to pitch the bottom of the 8th inning and to keep this deficit at 2 runs. The man for the job here is Kerry Wright.
He's the 5th pitcher for the Braves in this game. Kerry Wright, the rising sophomore out of Louisville, stands at 6'4". A right-handed pitcher, will be pitching in his 5th game this year. He has no 0-1 record, 6.75 ERA, only pitched 5 1/3 innings. 5 runs, 4 of them being earned on the season. 7 strikeouts, 8 walks, and has only allowed 1 hit in his 4 games he's appeared in. The last game he saw action in was just a few days ago against YD at YD. He went 1 inning there, no runs, no hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. So while Kerry Wright might have an unusually high ERA, he doesn't allow too many hits.
Does not allow too many hits. However, he has to face perhaps one of the hardest outs in the entire league here in Max Troiani. 3 for 3, 3 singles, a run scored in the 6th inning. And then he's got to go up against Trevin Esqueda as well. First pitch from right to Troiani is taken for ball 1, up and out. Here's the 1-0 now from Wright. Misses up and in, and looks like Wright struggling to find that release point. Has missed up on both his pitches. He falls behind 2-0 now to Troyani, and he is not a kid that you want to get behind to. Here's the 2-0. And that misses outside again. Wright struggling. And Sam, like you mentioned, we've seen him struggle with his command so far in the year.
Yeah, he has. He has 8 walks, just 7 strikeouts. And when he struggles with his command, it could be dangerous.
And there's a strike there. Braves need to keep this deficit at 2 to head into the 9th. 3-1 is in the dirt for ball 4. So the first batter up, Kerry Wright sends the first base on the walk. And Braves now need a ground ball here to help out Kerry Wright.
Yeah, and when he struggles with his location, he typically just struggles on the game. Make that his 9th walk of the year, and against Katua, July 13th. And remember, he pitched 2 innings, and his last inning that he pitched in, he walked 3 batters in a row, loaded up the bases, and then struck out the very next 3.
Orleans playing small ball here. Esqueda shows bunt. He sacrifices himself to get Troyani to second base, and that's exactly what happens. Wright picks the ball up, throws the first base in time for the out there. However, Troyani moves over to second base for the first out here in the 8th.
Well, the Firebirds know how important that runner on second now could be. And Esqueda just bunts him over to second, gets him in scoring position. It's only a 2-run lead for the Firebirds after it was a 5-run lead. So this game gets a little bit closer. Esqueda lays one down. Now there's a runner in scoring position.
Here's Shea Whitcomb now. He's 1 for 3, doubled back in the 4th inning off Nick Iverson. Right-hander getting loose in the Firebirds bullpen. You have to assume it's Jeffrey Prommel, Firebirds closer. Here's first pitch to Whitcomb, and it hits him right off the left arm. He'll jog down to first base. It caught Jackson Greer on the ricochet. Looks like perhaps on the jaw. So Wright with a hit batter, and I believe they're going to take a look at Jackson Greer now.
Yeah, I think that just got a little bit underneath him, but that off-speed completely missing by Kerry Wright. Hits him on the upper shoulder. And now it's runners on first and second. There's a double play that can get you out of the inning, but it's another base runner for the Firebirds.
And the mask that Jackson Greer wears, on the typical catcher's mask, not a lot of coverage for the side of the face, and it looks like that's where he got hit, right on the jawline, perhaps even a little bit lower than that, maybe on the neck. Not a lot of coverage on that side, so he's being tended to right now. Runners on first and second for Orleans here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
This is a big spot for the Firebirds to get some runs back that you lost out on in the top of the 8th. The Braves scoring 3 runs, making this game interesting, and the Firebirds trying to come right back.
Now, Jackson Greer, we've talked to him a lot, and we know the type of player he is. He's a really tough guy. So tough, in fact, that after the season, he's going to Tennessee, to Nashville. He's serving as security for a couple of concerts.
That's right. He said he's the least serious person you'll ever talk to, but when he's a security guard, I'd watch out.
I'd have to disagree. Yeah, I'd have to disagree. Greer looks like he's okay to go now. Gets a round of applause from the crowd here at Eldridge Park. Greer, like 6'3", 215, built like a linebacker. Would not want to mess around him. Back to baseball here. Here's Eddie McCabe. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Off the sacrifice bunt of Trevin Esqueda. First pitch now to McCabe, and misses down low for ball 1. Both the runners on without a hit. Right, walked Troyani on 5 pitches, then hit Shea Whitcomb on the first pitch of that at-bat. 0-1 now. And sliced foul down the right field line over toward the hill and the people over there. Much needed strike from Kerry Wright. He moves to 1-1.
And this is a big out for Kerry Wright if he can sit down Eddie McCabe. He puts runners on first and second on a walk and a hit by pitch. And now a 1-1 count on McCabe. He's really just focused on him.
1-1 now. Misses up and out. 2-1 to count to Eddie McCabe, who's 0 for 3. 3 groundouts so far tonight. 24 strikeouts for him so far this season as well. Firebirds as a whole struggling with the strikeout. Multiple players over that 20 mark. 2-1 now from Kerry Wright. And it just misses the zone outside. Greer tried to frame it. Wright didn't like the call from Mark Delaney behind the plate. Now he trails here 3-1.
It's a good hitter's count. He has the green light with runners on first and second.
Wright needs a strike here. Do not want to load up the bases. Here's a 3-1, and he misses the zone and exactly does that. He loads up the bases here with only 1 out. A walk to Eddie McCabe. Now here comes Tanner Murray. But first, we have a meeting from Harvey Shapiro, and we might be seeing a bullpen change here. And they are. They're going to make a move to the bullpen. So Kerry Wright does not get out of the inning he starts. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back here on the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network. Kerry Wright starts the 8th inning and does not get out of it. He goes a third, walking 2 people, hitting another, loading up the bases for the new pitcher in tonight's game. The 6th arm used overall, tying a season high here, Sam. It's Sean Harney.
And Harney coming off a game against YD earlier this week on Tuesday where he went just a third of an inning, allowing 1 hit, no runs, just facing 2 batters. This will be the 7th game he's appeared in, the 5th in relief, 5.78 ERA, 1-1 record on the year. He's pitched 14 innings, allowing 14 hits, 11 runs, 9 of them earned, striking out 6 and walking 10. So he has a tough situation to get out of. The bases loaded. Orleans already up by 2. And Tanner Murray will be the first batter he sees.
Yeah, here's Tanner Murray. He's 0 for tonight's game, 0 for 2. He walked back in the 6th inning against Carl Johnson, advanced to second on a wild pitch, and the Braves in desperate need of a ground ball here. Corners playing up on the infield grass. That's Beloso at first, Warren at third, and the middle infielders, Morissette and Glowenke, playing in double play depth. First pitch from Sean Harney, and it misses the zone, perhaps outside, for ball 1. Braves need a ground ball here from Sean Harney. One out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The base is juiced. The Braves trailing Orleans by 2 runs, 5-3. Here's the 1-0 from Harney, and it's in the zone. Catches the outside corner. Ball and a strike now to Tanner Murray.
And Harney's just being asked to find the zone. And there's not really a ton more he can do. He already has the bases loaded. Needs 2 more outs to get out of this inning, get the Braves back. They trail by 2 now, but it can get a lot worse here in this bottom of the 8th.
1-1 now from Harney. Misses outside. 2-1 now. Can't walk him. There's nowhere to put him. Bases loaded. So Harney looks in. He gets a sign from the catcher, Greer. Comes set. Hands meet at the belt. 2-1 now to Murray. And it's fouled off. Jackson Greer comes right in front of us. It's a big strike, 2 now to Murray. Count sits at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he forces Murray to defend here, 2-2. Harney, the ball's in his court. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just has 1 out. A strikeout could be big here. Rob Emery on deck. He struck out his past 2 at-bats.
Murray digging in and Harney looking in. Gets his sign. Comes set. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to third base. Warren can't make the play. However, it's foul. They call it just foul down the third base line. Would have been a tough play for Warren. Could not come up with the ball, but it's all for naught. 2-2 remains the count.
A close ground ball on the third base side. It skipped just foul past Xavier Warren's glove. It's still a 2-2 count. And Tanner Murray gets another shot at it.
One out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Orleans with a 2-run advantage of the Braves. Braves scored 3 runs in the top of the 8th to pull within 2. 5-3. 2-2 with the count to Tanner Murray. Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. This could be 2. Glowanki's got it. Flip to Morissette in time at second. Thrown to first base. Not in time. Bang, bang call at first base. He's safe over at first base. And the Braves now trail it 3 runs off the fielder's choice from Tanner Murray.
Yeah, Murray had some speed. There was really no shot to turn to on that play. It was a much-needed second out, but a big run comes home for Orleans. They lengthen that lead now to 3 with Rob Emery coming up. And that was exactly what Sean Harney wanted on the mound. A ground ball right to Glowanki at short. The turn 2 just wasn't in time, and a run comes home.
Now here comes Rob Emery. Braves trailing by 3 runs now. That run will be credited to Kerry Wright. And if Shea Whitcomb comes around to score, he will also be credited to Kerry Wright. First pitch to Rob Emery, misses the zone, ball 1. Emery got the scoring started. Or got the home run hitting started, I should say, in the 2nd inning. With a solo shot off Colby Dunlop. Harney comes set. Now fires a 1-0. Big swing and a miss there from Emery on the off speed. He's out in front. Count now at a ball and a strike.
And due up for the Braves is going to be the bottom half of the lineup. And Kyler Fedko, Jackson Greer, and Rivoli. And they had a good 8th inning. But Fedko hitless, Greer just 1 hit, and Rivoli with just 1 hit as well.
Time called. Rob Emery waiting for his pitch from Harney. And here it comes. Fouled off, straight back into the screen, and now Harney working ahead in the count now.
This is what Harney wants, and if he can get out of this situation with just 1 run coming across the plate, that'll be pretty impressive. Coming into this 1 out, bases loaded, almost got the double play to get out of it, but for Harney, it won't go as an earned run charged against him. It goes to Kerry Wright. So pretty impressive showing if he can get this last out.
1-2, the runner going. Jackson Greer fakes the throw on to second base. It will be a stolen base for Tanner Murray, who swipes second. Now runners on second and third. The count 2-2 to Rob Emery.
That's the right play by Jackson Greer. He fakes the throw over to second. If he would have thrown it to second, then Jay Wickham could have possibly came home, but he fakes the throw. Wickham stays over at third. 2 runners in scoring position now for Orleans. A single here from Emery. Break this game wide open for the second time today.
Runners on second and third. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Rob Emery. Here's a pitch from Harney, and it's fouled off down the first base line. Emery survives for another pitch. Struck out his last 2 times, one swinging against Nick Iverson, one looking against Carl Johnson, facing his fourth pitcher, in as many at-bats. Another 2-2. Line drive into left field, and this will get down for a base hit. Both runners will come around to score, and Emery will stay put at first base. It's a productive day for Rob Emery. 3 RBIs now, 2 coming on that single here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th.
He got a hold of one to left field, brings 2 runs in, and for Orleans, breaks it open to a 5-run lead for the second time today after they were up 5-0. Braves come back, make it 5-3, and Orleans answers right back and now has it 8-3. And Emery wasn't missing that off speed from Sean Harney. Took it right down the line to left field. Only gets a single out of it, but brings home 2 RBIs. He has 3 on the night.
Well, the Braves' 3-run 8th inning effectively is a race. They give up 3 in the bottom half of the 8th inning and now trail it by 5 runs yet again. Here's a first pitch now to Zach Daniels, and it misses the zone up high for ball 1. You'd imagine Fedko will probably be pinch hit for in the bottom half of the 9th inning. I wonder if Vermillion will be left to close the game now that the lead is back up to 5. Here's a 1-0. It's hit hard but foul down the right field line. Now, that one was close to your car right there, Sam. I'm not going to lie. You see that tree that I told you to park behind? It hit that tree. So
good call.
Good call on my part.
Yeah, that gave me a little bit of a scare. I didn't even realize it until you said something. That would not be good.
That would be a sour note to end the night on.
Yeah.
100%. 1-1 now to Daniels, and it's fouled. And I believe we're going to have catcher's interference. We are. Catcher's interference is going to be the call. Zach Daniels hits Jackson Greer's glove. It certainly sounded like he had hit something before the ball. So catcher's interference is the call, and now that will put runners on first and second because Daniels gets first on the call.
No, nothing's going the Braves' way here. A catcher's interference is called. It's now runners on first and second. Back to the top of the lineup. Kokoska hasn't gotten a hit, but why not here?
0 for 3 with a strikeout. First pitch to Kokoska, misses the zone for ball 1.
Yeah, it's going to be a pinch hitter for Orleans. It'll be Jacob Hurtubise.
And why not? You're up by 5 runs. Might as well get some experience for some of the other guys as the pitch misses high and outside for ball 1.
Hurtubise, a 241 average on the year. Playing in his 9th game, 7 for 29. 1 RBI, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Last time he played was July 16th. Went 1 for 4 against Catuan with a strikeout.
2-0 now, Hurtubise, and it's fouled off. Right over the road here. 2-1 now the count. And a rough night for the Braves. As soon as they start to build up a little bit of momentum, Orleans takes it right back. Braves put 3 up in the top of the 8th. Firebirds come back for 3 in the bottom half and still aren't done yet. Runners on first and second here with 2 outs. Here's the 2-1. Ground ball to third base. It will stay foul. 2-2 now the count to the pinch hitter here, Hurtubise.
Yeah, Harney is would take nothing here but a strikeout on Hurtubise to retire him, get out of this now 3-run inning, get the Braves bats back up.
Harney steps off the mound here before delivering the 2-2. Orleans have hit 8 batters in this 8th inning. One more away from batting around. Here's the 2-2 from Harney. Pop up on the infield. Jimmy Glowacki is under it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. All the work the Braves did in the top half of the 8th is erased in the bottom half. Orleans scores 3 runs on only 1 hit, and they leave 2 on base. Now we head into the 9th inning with the score right back to where it was at a 5-run differential. It's 8-3. Orleans over the Braves. We'll be back on the Braves Broadcast Network. Braves down to their final 3 outs here on the top of the 9th inning against the Orleans Firebirds. They trail by 5 runs here, 8-3 in the top of the 9th inning. And it's the bottom 3 of the order due up, going up against Vermillion, who stays on the mound.
Obviously, a lot being asked of these bottom 3 down by 5. But Greer and Rivoli both getting hits last inning.
First pitch to Fedko is a chopper over to first base. That's Esqueda. He's got it. He flips over to Vermillion, covering the bag for a very quick out number 1.
Yeah, pretty easy. 1 pitch and 1 ground out over to third. Vermillion, nice play, hustling over to first as Esqueda just flipped it right over to him. And can't ask for anything more easier than that. 1 gone.
Now here comes Jackson Greer. Finally ended his slump earlier today. He's 1 for 3, a single, and a run scored. First pitch to him from Vermillion is in the zone for strike 1. The Braves competition doesn't get any easier going from here. Sam tomorrow home against Wareham as the 0-1 misses inside. Count out a ball and a strike.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I mean, there are no off days except for the All-Star game, and literally no off days. I mean, you have games every single day from here on out, except for the break of the All-Star game, and there's a tough team to play every single day.
1-1 misses downstairs, 2-1 now. The season being extended by an extra day. Originally, scheduling was supposed to work out where everybody who made the playoffs would get an off day on August 1st, but not the case anymore. 2-1 grounded foul over toward the Braves dugout. 2-2 now the counts to the catcher Greer. So now after being on a scheduled stretch of 17 games in 16 days, the Braves will start a stretch of, I believe, I'm trying to figure out the math, Sam. Was that 13 games in 11 days, something like that, after the off day? 2-2 misses the zone up high for ball 3.
Luckily for the Braves, there's just one doubleheader in there. But for teams like Falmouth, who have only played about like 28 games, I believe, at this point, that's tough for them. A lot of games to make up in a short amount of time.
Yeah, not a lot of time left for baseball. The season winding to an end. Here's a payoff pitch to Greer. Breaking ball misses up and out. Greer finds himself on base for the second time tonight. And here comes the number 9 hitter now, Brennan Rivoli.
Yeah, good at bat for him. He gets on base, works the count full. Rivoli coming up. A little bit of life left for the Braves.
Rivoli coming up now. He's 1 for 3 as well. Singleton scored in the 8th, and he grounded out in his other 2 times. First pitch to Rivoli, popped up foul down the left field line. That will land in the street. I wonder how often people have foul balls crash into cars here.
I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty often. There's been a lot that have fallen right toward the street. And I'm surprised by the fencing is not higher, especially by the road.
0-1 to Rivoli, misses way upstairs. Ball and a strike now. So with Hyannis losing, the Braves' magic number falling to 12 to clinch the final playoff spot. Long story short, Hyannis more or less needs to win out in order to really have a shot at making the playoffs. 1-1 misses outside, 2-1 now.
And Falmouth, a 4-3 lead right now. They take it back on Wareham. That game's in the bottom of the 7th. So they beat the Gatemen. Katuitt will be the new leaders in the West.
2-1 fouled straight back into the screen. 2-2 now. Falmouth with the opportunity to pull within 2 points of the leaders. Katuitt Wareham tied up at 35 coming into tonight's game. Although with the win today, Katuitt moving up to 37. 2 points separating all those teams. 2-2 misses up and out. 3-2 now the count to Brennan Rivoli. So Falmouth, a chance to really knock on the door of that home field spot, the 2 seed.
That'll be big for them. They have a lot of games and not too many days, but if they can come out over 500, they'll be in a great spot.
Rivoli swings and misses. He goes down, swinging for the first time tonight on the strikeout, and the Braves now down to their final outs. And it's back to the top of the order in Cody Morissette.
That was a fastball high. If Rivoli lays off, that's ball 4. Greer gets to second. Rivoli gets to first, but swings at a high fastball. Rivoli goes down on strikes. The Braves down to their final out in this one.
Braves have struck out 10 times in tonight's game. And the first pitch to Morissette is in the zone for strike 1. And it's been a forgettable night for Cody Morissette. 0 for 4. 2 flyouts, a strikeout, and he popped into an infield fly back in the 8th inning. Morissette looks at strike 2 on the outer half. He does not like the call from Mark Delaney, the home plate umpire. And now the Braves down to their final strike.
And Vermillion just looking to close this one out. Orleans looking to pick this one up, gain some ground on the 2 leaders in the Eastern Division.
0-2 to Morissette. He chops it to shortstop. This should do it. Murray's got it. He makes the throw to first base. He beats Morissette, and Orleans beat the Braves 8-3 here from Eldridge Park, and just nothing really seemed it could go the Braves' way here tonight.
No, it didn't. The Braves finished with 6 hits. Orleans finishes with 9. An 8-3 win for Orleans in a game where the Braves were really out of it from the start. 5-0 was the lead. The Braves coming back a little bit in the top of the 8th for 3 runs, but they suffer those 3 runs back in the bottom half of the 8th and lose it 8-3. I think the story of this one was the collapse of the bullpen and Colby Dunlop not getting the best start either.
Yeah, Dunlop in his start, 3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. And then Carl Johnson, he also struggled, throwing 1 inning, giving up a 2-run home run in his inning to Trevin Esqueda. However, a positive that can be taken out of this game is the appearance of Braxton Roxby out of the pen.
Yeah, he was impressive. He faced 3 batters and struck out all 3 of them. He's a new guy that the Braves just signed a few days ago from University of Pittsburgh, Johnstown, and he's looking to make his name here, and he certainly did in his first appearance. Touched 96 on the miles per hour, and the Braves are hopefully expecting for more appearances like that out of Roxby.
And tomorrow night, Sam, the Braves going up against the Wareham Gatemen, who will either be tied for first or 2 points behind first place at second. What do you think, besides hit the ball a little bit better, the Braves have to do against a tough opponent like the Gatemen?
Well, you got to have a great game. I think everything needs to come together, and that comes starting pitching. That's bullpen. That's getting people on base, bringing them around. I think you have to have a complete game against a team like Wareham, who hits well. They have a shockingly high average on the season just as a team. And for the Braves, pitching's going to be the number one, and that hasn't been the past couple games. Obviously, Colby Dunlop struggling coming out for his start, and the rest of the pen. I mean, the Braves threw 6 pitchers tonight, which was a time for a season high. So I think it really all is going to come down to pitching against Wareham, but your whole team has to have a complete game to get a win against the Gatemen.
And the Gatemen are one of the best in the entire league for a reason. Let's go over the final lines. The Braves dropped to 13-18 on the season. They score 3 runs off 6 hits, no errors, and 7 left on base. And for Orleans, they advanced to 16-11-3 on the year. 8 runs off of 9 hits, 1 error, and 5 left on base. Jake Eater picks up his first win of the year. He goes 5 innings strong, striking out 6. And Colby Dunlop picks up his second loss, giving up those 3 runs and his 3 innings of work. Final game time, 2 hours and 44 minutes. And Sam, I'll see you tomorrow. Braves in action against the Wareham Gatemen from Dorn Park. Until then, once again, the final score, 8-3, the Firebirds over the Braves. For Sam Weeder halftime, Jordan Palacio signing off until tomorrow night. We'll see you then. Good night, everybody.